every playoff game a Will Hockey game day with Will Hock Beef Jerky. Only available in Leduc. Get yours today because you don't bring home the cup with salad.
Debt can take over your life. The stress, the constant worry, it can feel like you're drowning. When people come to see me, they're often anxious and feeling hopeless. But when I explain how I can help them get out of debt, those feelings melt away. I'm Parveen Middleton, licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. I will create a personalized debt relief plan so you can move forward with confidence. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Day or night, tasting just right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. At oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
Great news for your weekend project. CFI, that's Custom Floors Inc., is now open 6 days a week with Saturday hours from 10 till 2. Get top quality Canadian product from Boom with the convenience you need. For your free estimate, visit CFI at customfloorsinc.com.
Amazing McTavish is the boss. He knows it.
If you've been thinking about it, he's the
He's got over a minute, just under a minute to do this. Sebastian Sosa is going to break the 2-hour mark. He's going to win the London Marathon in incredible style and historic performance, 1:59.30. Absolutely incredible. I've never seen anything like that. What a finish.
That's St. Albert Dodge.
Want to invest in Alberta's workforce, fill your talent pipeline, and get funding? Careers, the next generation connects employers. Easy and
like careers who have experience in that area, they can demystify and navigate all the complex steps and stakeholders that have to be involved.
Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
Euphoria is back, and it's only on Crave. The groundbreaking HBO original Critics Call, one of the most explosive, heartbreaking, and entertaining shows on television, returns for a new season, starring Emmy winner Zendaya.
If you make a deal with the devil, there's no turning back.
A new chapter begins. The real world awaits, and their story changes forever.
Wherever these unlucky folk go, there's a cascade of trouble.
Euphoria, new season, stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
It's playoff time on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. This is Andrew Walker. Join us for the Titan Supply pregame show before each Edmonton playoff game. Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products.
The Jason Gregor Show.
Drysdale wins the face. Boom shot.
On Sports 1440.
Nick Carroll. Pull up three. Off to here.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Sebastian Sosa is going to break the 2-hour mark. He's going to win the London Marathon in incredible style. The historic performance, 1:59.30. Absolutely incredible. I've never seen anything like that. What a finish.
Well, a maddening Monday afternoon. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, Twitch. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. It's always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province. PlayAlberta.ca. And tomorrow, Lotto Max, 55 mil and 4 Max Millions. So get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. We got lots and lots to discuss. Sean Brown will join us in studio. We got Kevin Woodley breaking down goaltending. As if you look at the highest percentage of shots that should be goals in the series, Anaheim has 6 of them. Edmonton has 2. Edmonton's given up too much. That's just a fact. Their penalty kills atrocious. Their second periods are just equally inept. So we'll get to that. Seth Rohrbaugh will join us from Pittsburgh, where the Penguins trying to stave off elimination. They were down 3-0, trying to become only the 5th team in NHL history to win 4 straight after a 3-0 deficit. Mike Folta will be by the Utah Mammoth. Hey, it's not how many you shoot, it's how many you score. 4 goals on 12 shots. It's a bold strategy, Cotton, but it worked for Game 3 for Utah, and they've only played once in the last 5 days, but they will play tonight in Game 4. We got Speck. Are going to hear from Ed Hervey, the GM of the Elks, of course, on the eve of the CFL draft. And the Elks will be playing a big part in it with 4 picks in the top 21. Here's an opportunity to add some depth. I would think offensive line, defensive line. I'll be curious what other positions they're going, but I think those 2 for sure. Wouldn't be surprised if 2 of the 4 picks are on the O-line. So we'll see. Also, the Oilers traveled today, as did the Ducks. They'll arrive in Edmonton, and then both teams will skate tomorrow. The Edmonton Oilers now find themselves down 3-1 after losing both games in Anaheim. This season in the playoffs, teams who score first have won 20 times and lost 11. The Oilers are 1-3. So the rest of the league is 19-8, and the Oilers are 1-3. And twice they've had 2-0 leads evaporate. Their inability to hold a lead, their inability to penalty kill, and their struggles in the second period, ABC. That's why they're down 3-1. Now, can they fix all those problems? It's a great question. I can see how people would doubt it based on what you've seen through 4 games. 5-on-5, even. You get on special teams, it's dreadful. Josh Szymanski, you can't take penalties like that, right? If you're tripping a guy who's on a breakaway, we can talk. You just high stick a guy in the blue line for no reason. Makes no sense. Like, I get it. The emotions are high in the playoffs, but you got to control your emotions. You have to, especially when when your penalty kill's good, you might take get a little extra shot in. But when your penalty kill is 50%, you can't keep doing that. And coaching, we'll get into that as we welcome in Sean Brown. Because I look at the Brownie, your penalty killer. I look at the Oilers penalty kill, and it's clearly not working. Now, the Ducks got a lot of confidence on their power play. Both units get out there. They're both feeling it. They get about a minute. They usually start. It's funny, the unit that starts isn't the unit that scores, because usually the unit that's starting is going up against Nurse and Murphy, and they're not scoring. And they bring out the second unit, and it's Bouchard and Ekholm. And those guys have been on for 4 of the 6 goals that the Oilers have given up shorthanded in this, not shorthanded, but while they're on the penalty kill in this series. So my question to you is, I get the theory, take who got you to the dance. I get it. But their penalty kill's not working. Would you change the system, or would you consider putting Ty Emberson, who's killed penalties before, would you consider inserting him on the second unit?
I think at this point, why not? I mean, it's not something that he wouldn't be familiar with. He's proven to be a guy throughout the season that's willing to block shots, has an understanding of what they're all doing and what it takes. So at this point in time, when things aren't going well, maybe a little bit of an adjustment like that wouldn't be a bad thing. But like you said, at the end of the day, for Szymanski and for the Edmonton Oilers right now, some of the untimely penalties, they just can't, you just can't take those. And especially when a team is kind of struggling right now, and you got the Anaheim Mighty Ducks right now that on the opposite end of that are feeling it, right? I've been on both sides of the PK where you're struggling, and I've been on the side, in a power play situation where, you're feeling confident and feeling good about yourself and your shot and your touches and your looks. So right now it's a little bit, not going in their way. So maybe a small adjustment like that for a guy that is familiar with what's going on, wouldn't be a bad suggestion. Maybe it's not like for a full minute, but maybe you're finding a way to get him out there for, 25, 30, 35 seconds.
Yeah, it's something. I'm not saying that it's just one guy and that's why, but you have to look at all things.
Yeah.
And they obviously missed Henrique. There's no doubt in my mind. And I'd said people who wanted Szymanski to play ahead of Henrique at the start of the series had maybe realized, maybe I was mistaken on that. Right. There's little nuances of penalty killing, winning faceoffs, getting in lanes, all those sorts of things. I crunched the numbers on the forwards because I know a lot of people are like, well, get McDavid off of the penalty kill. Well, you could, but here's the thing. McDavid's penalty kill numbers are good, right? He has the lowest goals against per 60. He's played .528, which is third most of any Oiler forward. And his goal against per 60 is the lowest, followed by Jason Dickinson, then Matt Savoy. So, those. Now, I know that the forwards aren't always the guys. If you're on the ice, sometimes even a defenseman, you're not the reason. Like Cutter Gauthier's goal last night, I'm kind of like, hey, that's just a nice goal. Sometimes you're going to give up a nice goal. You have the man advantage, right? The Granlund one, man, I thought Ekholm's stick looked like it was in the lane, and then it wasn't. And I thought McDavid had a slight hesitation. That's the first goal. It's the only goal he's been on the penalty kill was the Granlund goal. So you could take McDavid off, but the problem is all the numbers all year long, he's one of their better penalty killers.
Yeah, he's definitely, one of the, if you got the numbers, so you're seeing it. I mean, there's always it's a combination. It can't just be on one guy. There's 3 other guys there that are trying to adjust, and everyone's got to be somewhat on the same, or has to be on the same page. Connor McDavid, took an angle that obviously I think if he were to do it again, he would definitely take a different angle.
Exactly.
McDavid's one of the best at recognizing when guys turn their feet, he's going to do the opposite of what they're doing. And that's what that guy, what was it, Granlund?
Yes.
That's what Granlund did. If you look at the angle that he took, as soon as McDavid the whole idea is to push down and not allow the pass back.
Yes.
But McDavid Granlund had maybe a little bit of deception, sold that he was going to go back, and his feet moved. As soon as his feet moved, he went down low, and then he lost the angle and the positioning, which allowed him to go to the net. And then obviously it's a game of inches, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Ekholm, stick on puck, stick in the lane. I think Connor Halley actually tweeted out, and I was looking at it myself. I mean, literally a couple inches here or there, he breaks that play up. But that's what the game is all about, right? And, probably when you're feeling it, Connor McDavid, maybe makes a mistake there, but when things are going well, Ekholm actually gets a little bit on that, deflects it, and the mistake isn't as noticeable.
Yes. No, I agree. And it's funny because that was the only goal McDavid's been on the penalty kill. So, they don't have a ton of other options, right, on the penalty kill right now with Henrique out. So, like Szymanski's doing a little bit of penalty killing. You've got, Draisaitl. Hyman they used, he was on for one shift on the penalty kill. He's not really a penalty killer. So you have Kapanen, you have Draisaitl, you have Henrique, not Henrique, Dickinson, Nugent Hopkins, Savoy. And those guys are just going to have to figure it out. Like penalty, it's true though. It's not like you can say, hey, guess what? Now we're going to throw Doc and Frederick and everybody else out there. Like, maybe you could put Lazar out for the odd faceoff if you wanted to, but
why not put Lazar out there? I mean, this is the time of the year.
Yeah, I'm guessing they feel his foot speed isn't there. That's the only thing I can think of. But you don't need a ton of foot speed
when they're penalty killing.
Yeah, it's not massive. No, I agree. It stops and starts.
Yeah, his foot speed and his experience, and I'm assuming Curtis has been a PK guy throughout his career. So I would. This is the playoffs. This is the time where guys have to step up and be put in situations that they just have to deliver. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, but I'm assuming there's guys in situations there that are, playing where maybe they're not 100% comfortable playing in, but this is what the playoffs are all about. So, the Oilers do have guys. It's got to be, I don't have a problem when Szymanski is in the lineup, to be honest with you. I thought that, him starting off the series in the lineup wasn't Like, I don't have an issue with that at all. I mean, he's taken some untimely penalties and stuff like that, but I
he
like
didn't
it.
play in game one, right? He
That's what I
came-
mean.
yeah.
That I would have, for me, I would have started him.
Ahead of Henrique?
I would have. I like what he brings to the Oilers. I like his speed, his youthfulness, his experience. Yeah, he's taken a couple penalties, but overall, I think with the
I'm
way,
just not sure he's the same penalty killer as Henrique right now.
well, you're lacking that experience.
Yeah.
100%.
And
but-
Henrique's on, like, they miss Henrique was their best penalty killer all year long. When him and Savoy were together, that was their number one unit. Like, to not have Henrique in game one would have, like, their penalty kill's brutal. Like, look, Henrique, when he's been out, because he hasn't been on the penalty kill, obviously got hurt.
Yeah.
It's been awful.
Yeah.
So there's no chance I was taking
Really?
Henrique out of the series.
Yeah.
The only thing that took him out was an injury. And now the other thing that I think coaching, I'm not here to say coaching's the reason why, but coaching has an opportunity now to make some adjustments. That's all. Playoffs is about adjustments. And the breakout, oh my God, Brownie, if I have to see the defenseman back in the zone, they got no one.
Flipping pucks out.
They got no one to pass to.
Yeah.
Because your forwards, like, or they do the stress pass to the stationary player all the time. There's rarely, especially in the second period where you're getting freaking murdered, bring your wingers down into the zone again. They can adjust. These are NHL players. I'm sure you've had a system change. Okay, guys, this is what we've done. It's not working. Let's try something different. It's not hard, is it?
Well, I mean, I thought, for the first 10 minutes, I thought obviously the way they started was great. It was around, for me, watching around the 10-minute mark, they just, for whatever reason, got away from making plays, and it got into where I get it at times as a defenseman, you go back on pucks, you don't have anything, you kind of flip it into a 50-50 area, but that can't be your go-to play, right? And so they kind of killed a little bit of their momentum. There's nothing worse. I mean, you watch what Anaheim's doing to the Oilers defensemen. They're just constantly going back, and it's not always a big hit, but when you're always peeling yourself off of the glass, it's annoying.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And that's what they're doing, and they're consistent on what they're doing. And the Oilers just, and maybe that's why Anaheim is so good at being a comeback team, because down 2, up 2, they're not really changing any style of their game.
They're not.
And that's what, when you look at, the Florida Panthers and the good teams, regardless of the score and the situation, they kind of play the same way, and they believe in the way that they play will either, will get them back in the game or get the result that they want. And the Oilers, for whatever reason, the way they started, they kind of got away from it. And every team has a push. Every team is going to have opportunities where they capitalize on, mistakes, or they just have that push. The Oilers just, you still have to make plays. You can't just keep throwing pucks away and giving them momentum and making them feel good about their game. Because obviously it's just, they eventually just are going to get what they, deserve. So, I don't have a problem. All wingers push out. It's just making sure you got guys kind of coming through the middle of the ice so that you're either chipping it and guys have speed and they're able to get in on the forecheck and kind of establish a little bit of a zone time, make it hard on their defensemen that are going back on pucks, return the favor a little bit.
Yes. Well, I was looking at hits taken. So, most hits taken for the Oilers is Emberson at 22. The most for the Ducks is John Carlson at 22. Then Jackson Lacomb's at 19. Second highest in the Oilers is 9. Like, the Oilers' top 4 defense, well, not top 4, is Nurse hasn't been hit that much. Neither is Wallman. They're the two fewest. But, Lacombe and Carlson are being hit. But, they're now I know the other guys don't play as much, but they, like, Minchikov's only been hit 6 times. Right. Yeah. I would now Carlson has the puck more, so he's getting hit more. It's 22-6. Yeah. Right. But maybe look and say, hey guys, let's try to strategically dump it into Minchikov's corner more than John Carlson. It's just like these are things like Jackson Lacombe. Hey, I know you're going to dump it into his corner, but maybe you dump it into Trouba. It's 19-10, the amount of hits. Now, obviously, Jackson, anytime Trouba gets the puck, he's dishing it to Jackson. So I get that it's hard, but I look at the Oilers. They didn't game 1 and 2, did hardly any matchups. Well, I'm sorry. You're in desperation mode now. You need to win. And I'm not saying you have to just hard match. But you know what? You can look at certain things and say, hey, right now, Jackson Lacombe is getting the better of the McDavid matchup. He is. So why don't we say, hey, who is the best line in the series? It's not even close. Draisaitl, Kapanen, and Podkolzin being the best line in the series. It's not even close. So why not say, okay, that's the guys. We're at home ice. Draisaitl, we're taking you. We're going to try to get you as much as we can against Lacombe. Why not?
Yeah, no, I mean, right now, I think Quenneville is just, I don't think he has a problem putting anyone out
No, I
against
agree.
anyone, right?
Yeah,
Where
but
now,
he is playing the one pairing. Lacombe, he wants them out the most, and I get it.
yeah,
Right. And you didn't do anything to try to get them. Why not try? Like, to me, try to get him out of the rhythm.
yeah,
See, like, did you see what Tampa Bay did?
no,
Okay, so Tampa Bay, they're on the road, game 4. Sorelli is their guy. They want Sorelli out against Suzuki. So you know what he does? He puts Sorelli's line out on the ice, neutral zone faceoff. Montreal doesn't come with Suzuki because they don't want Suzuki out there. So what does Tampa Bay do? Right off the faceoff, they change. Now Sorelli goes back to the bench. Other line comes out. Now you got to be alert. Keeps your guys in the game. Now they're changing. And there was another faceoff 20 seconds later. What do you do again? Put Sorelli on. Now Suzuki's line's not out. They wait, quick change, boom. Now he's on the road.
Yeah.
And then eventually he got his matchup. So he's looking at it and saying, this is the one I want, right? We're forcing Montreal on home ice not to put Suzuki out. Now, obviously, they're not going to say we're going to sit McDavid at home. But this is Edmonton having last change on home ice. Jackson Lacombe's out there. Put Draisaitl's line on. Put someone else. Now, if Anaheim wants to try to quick change it, then go ahead. And if not, they play their 30 seconds. Now I bring McDavid's line out.
Yeah.
And he's not going to have to see Lacombe and Trouba as much. Like, he's still going to have to see Karlsson and Minchikov. I get it.
Yeah.
But that's what I would look at doing. And any defensive zone start where their third pair's on the ice, I'm putting one of my top 2 lines out. Enough's enough.
Yeah. Well, I think at the end of the day, yeah, little adjustments here and there are always something a coach can do. But at the end of the day, too, these guys have to play a little bit better, right? Because you don't want to just, overcoach and take certain guys in and out of the game. But when you talk about dumping the puck, like, I mean, you can dump the puck in all day long. And I think that's what the Oilers were doing, but there just wasn't enough support or speed or anything to put so those guys aren't getting hit because the puck's in Trouba or whoever's corner. But if you don't have guys coming in and placing it where they're under stress, that's the biggest thing is the speed below the puck and the predictability and being like, hey, we're coming up here and we're going to be connected so that when the pucks are dumped in, you're within 3 or 4 feet and you can get an actual lick in.
Yeah. But I also think the constant stretch pass is eliminating the forecheck because the guy who's receiving the pass is stationary.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so now, and then he's stationary, then the other guy has to time it perfectly, or they do that redirection, which to me is just a giveaway, and I hate it. So maybe bring back guys a little deeper and see if you can attack as a group.
Yeah.
Because Edmonton's still a puck possession team, right? I think they're better at that. So play to your strengths, but have guys closer. You're a defenseman.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I just think they're asking too much by constantly stretch passing.
I mean, it's situational, but I do think it is, if it's done right and it's predictable and the other two, the centerman and the winger, know what's going on, you're kind of generating enough speed because you know where the puck is going to go. So you're getting over there, right? And it's either a chip to the middle or obviously it's going to be a chip in, and both guys have that opportunity to read off of each other, knowing exactly what's going on. Right. And between those two plays allows the ability to kind of get in on the forecheck or at least be connected if it's an actual play that they can support each other and maybe get into the zone and have an opportunity to sustain a little bit of pressure in zone time.
And the other thing I'd like to see is the Oilers are attacking a lot down the wings. I think Anaheim is funneling. They're forcing them to the outside. I think Edmonton's got to make a more concerted effort to get to the middle of the ice, high in the offensive zone.
Yeah. Anytime you bring anyone to the middle of the ice, it makes it a lot harder.
Yeah. So, and that's one where you got to move the puck quicker and be looking for that play. I think too often they're settling for going down between the dots is the highway, from the dots to the boards is the ditch. And I think Anaheim right now is forced Edmonton to the ditch more than they'd be on the highway.
That's the old minor hockey analogy there.
But it makes sense.
Works.
It's simple,
for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Anybody listening can figure out, from the dots to the boards, that's the ditch.
Yeah.
You want to go there sometimes, but you want to attack from the middle.
You got some, Anaheim's playing kind of with house money, right? They don't have the same pressure. They're young. They're enthusiastic, and they're just, they're playing loose and they're building belief. And we all know it doesn't matter who you are, veteran, rookie, whatever. That's, a bit of an issue right now is there's a lot of belief in Anaheim right now in the way they're playing, and they should have that. And there's a lot of reasons why, with their forecheck and the style that they're playing has built that belief. And now it's kind of up to the Oilers to kind of repay that. And like I said, there's, everybody, like you talk about their struggles defensively. If you spend any length of time in your own zone defensively, you're eventually going to break down.
Going to break down,
right? So the key is that stretch, get in the offensive zone, make them spend some time. And I just felt like it was somewhere around that 10-minute mark that they didn't make them play defense enough.
They were one and done. There was a chip in. No one's going. Yes.
Right. And I know when you're, it's the hardest playing hockey, going back and playing in your zone, and kind of peeling yourself off the boards constantly. Right. And they have found a way to do that and leave a mark on the Oilers defensemen, because you can see, I mean, they're not making some of the plays they normally make.
Yeah, it's true. Jason Gregor, Sean Brown with you. It's the Gregor Show presented by playalberta.ca. We'll take a quick break. Woodley will join us next, talking goaltending. It's Gregor Show, Sports 1440.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Would you like to be a part of history for the month of April? I'm kidding. Or as the kids say, bro, I'm joking. Would you like to help us set a record in April? Chill. Still kidding. At Northgate, we aren't trying to set any records or tell you how many vehicles we sell, and we really don't think you'd care. But what you will care about is this. Every dealer has the same costs. Trust me, GM does not have a favorite kid. You get to decide where you buy. 0% financing, a great selection, and of course, great people. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or business online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country. Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle Noodle.
It's playoff time, and we've got a lot to talk about. This is Andrew Walker on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. Tune in after every Edmonton playoff game for the Legacy Heating and Cooling postgame show. Visit the experts at legacyheating.ca.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, healing doesn't have to feel heavy, because in our SwimX aquatic therapy pools, you literally float your way to recovery. Whether you're dealing with arthritis, back pain, joint injuries, post-surgical rehab, chronic pain, balance issues, mobility challenges, or just feeling a little creaky, warm water and gentle resistance have your back, your knees, and your hips. Trusted by pro sports teams and rehab hospitals, our SwimX pools help you move sooner, hurt less, and recover faster. So take the load off. Let the water do the work. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
As we all try to figure out when winter will actually stop and spring will finally be here for the season, GS Construction moves ahead with their plans for the year. From planning and digging to laying out underground infrastructure, construction season is limited, so we make every day count. And that's why GS Construction counts on our team to get the job done right. Crews are getting back in action across the city, and we'd like you to join us. We're looking for experienced top men, pipe layers, operators, and surveyors. For more, visit gsconstruction.ca.
I won't shave till we bring home the cup.
And I like to do a shot for every playoff goal. My jersey's not coming off until we're the city of champs again.
Want a playoff superstition that always wins? Pick up a bag of Wilhock beef jerky for every game. Because when it comes to the playoffs, where there's a Wilhock, there's a way.
Make every playoff game a Will Hockey game day with Wilhock beef jerky. Only available in Leduc. Get yours today, because you don't bring home the cup with salad.
Debt can take over your life. The stress, the constant worry, it can feel like you're drowning. When people come to see me, they're often anxious and feeling hopeless. But when I explain how I can help them get out of debt, those feelings melt away. I'm Parveen Middleton, licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. I will create a personalized debt relief plan so you can move forward with confidence. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Hey, it's Jamie from Green Drop Lawn Care. From the big mall in the west to the Arena District downtown, Edmonton is beautiful. But when I see your lawns, I know one thing's for certain. Weeds are coming. Be proactive and take advantage of our early bird savings until April 30th.
Green Drop has been Canada's lawn expert since 1979. And they're in your community, keeping your yard looking beautiful with affordable lawn care packages that include fertilizer, weed control, drought fighter, and more. Visit greendrop.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Mortgages to Go. Need cash and have equity in your home? Mortgages to Go has you covered. When the bank says no, they say yes, and they've been doing it in Alberta for over 23 years. Call 1-888-888-5998 or visit mortgagestogo.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by playalberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sean Brown with you. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. Lots going on, of course. NHL playoffs continue tonight. Only 2 games as the Flyers looking to eliminate Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. It's 3-1 Flyers. And the Golden Knights trying to even up their series against the Utah Mammoth. They played on Friday night. Vegas outshot them 32-12, but lost 4-2 without an empty netter. Mammoth scored 4 goals on 12 shots in that game. Talk about making the most of your opportunities. As we get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Ice Center, new state-of-the-art entertainment facility in Nisku. Features 2 sheets of ice, 1,600-seat arena, and the Summit Restaurant. Great place to eat. Check it out, Silent Ice Center. It's Kevin Woodley from In Goal Magazine, NHL.com. Joins us. Woodley, good afternoon, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm not sure if you guys had a chance to see that 4-on-12, but it was actually 4-on-8 when they put the 4th goal in. And the first one might be the weirdest goal I've ever seen in the National Hockey League. And also might explain some of the slippage in performance from that point on from Carter Hart. Got run early in the game, significant collision, and then that first goal was an unchecked howitzer, walked into a clapper inside the top of the circles, and it actually hit him in the mask.
Yeah.
Bounced straight down off his stick and went in. And I was a little shocked that he didn't get pulled at that point, not by his head coach, but by a concussion spotter, because that was a blast off the face. And so I'm not saying I don't have any inside knowledge, but I just thought his game didn't look as sharp from that point on.
Yeah, Mackenzie Weegar came in there and absolutely just lambasted one right at him. And it was unique, as you mentioned. Yeah, 4 goals in the first 8 shots. But John Tortorella, who used to pull goalies for fun, decides, you know what? I'm not pulling the goalie. So he clearly thought that it wasn't just him. So I think the reason why the goalie he didn't get pulled there, Kev, was he didn't make any sort of motion that he was hurt by that shot at all, right? Sometimes they'll do the double head shake or something.
Yeah.
Didn't do it.
I've done the head shake myself a few times for sure. And you're trying to sort of get everything to the vision. You're trying to get all the blurry lines to sort of form one straight line when you do that quite often. So you're right. Fair point. I haven't seen that, and it was an absolute howitzer, and it just made me wonder a little bit. Listen, that wasn't his best game. I thought he was fine in the first couple, so let's see if he can bounce back and play like he has, frankly, to that point. I think the fact that there was no hook regardless of whether it's torts or a concussion spotter, also tells you something about where their confidence in Aiden Hill is behind him. For all the attention that Sam Montembeault got as a Canadian Four Nations goaltender who didn't get a sniff of the Olympics, Aiden Hill was right there with him near the bottom of the NHL rankings that I have from Clearside Analytics this season.
How did I'm sure you look at the numbers? How did Tristan Jarry fare? I thought Tristan Jarry played fine. What did the numbers tell you?
Well, I mean, numbers in small samples, you always have to be careful. At the end of the day, he outperformed his environment, if we want to put it that way. The Oilers, they gave up a fair bit in that game. 12 high danger chances. Only one of the goals was off a high danger. 4.23 expected goals, and again, small samples, right? But he lets in 4 on 4.23. He did his job. So it's been really interesting to watch this series, in part because, by the numbers, and again, that small sample caveat, for all the attention on Connor Ingram, there's another goalie who's right near him, near the bottom of sort of the NHL playoff rankings to date on Clearside Analytics list. Well, there's 3 guys at the bottom. One is Connor Ingram. He's not in the series anymore. The next is Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. He's not in his series anymore. And third on that chart is Lukas Dostal. And so it's very interesting to me to see that the performance to date of Ingram and Dostal are not hugely different, and yet their results in terms of where they are and for their teams are different. That Jarry was fine. The one thing that jumped out to me, guys, that was a challenge for Ingram, well, there were 2, and the first was screens. 4 goals off 13 screen plays where that's the primary factor.
Yes.
Then the second one was rebounds, and 5 goals off 8 rebound chances. That's 9 of your 13 goals that he's given up, or 14 goals that he gave up in the series. 9 off of rebounds and screens. And I thought there were times where a little late, a little casual finding his sight lines behind screens. I thought there were times where the lanes you would expect forwards or flexing forwards or defensemen to be in, they weren't in there. And so he had to make a different decision in terms of finding his sight line, because the one that should have been there wasn't. In other words, it's not always on the goaltender. There is a system here. Guys are supposed to be in certain spots. And I think there might have been a little bit of shared blame around. But the rebound one, the amount of times that Anaheim's trying to put pucks off pads, and we used to talk about Skinner and that narrow butterfly, and the parts that came with a narrow butterfly, delays in movement, less coverage. Ingram's blessed with a very wide butterfly. And about the only downside to it is that rebounds tend to go back out into the middle. They don't get spilled off to the sides as much as they would with a narrow butterfly. And for everything that Connor is as a goalie, he'll be the first to tell you. It's funny, I went back and listened to an old interview we did with him at Ingle when he was in Arizona. He'll be the first to tell you, he's explosive laterally, dynamic laterally. That's not on his list of strengths. And so it looks like they're basically trying to put pucks off the pad, knowing that if they can win the battle to the next opportunity, and hey, some of that's on the defense too. You got to box out. You got to win those battles on those types of plays, but they feel like they can beat the goalie to a lot of those second chances. And 5 goals on 8 rebound chances tell me that they weren't wrong. So that's an area where it looked to me like Anaheim specifically was going after something. And interesting, Tristan Jarry faced 5 screenshots last night, didn't give up any goals. I thought he was really good, really patient behind screens. And I almost wondered, 5 screenshots in a game is a lot. I almost wondered if Anaheim sort of was a little slow to adjust their scouting report. Now, the downside is, Tristan gives you that, really good at finding lanes by staying tall and looking over traffic rather than getting low and looking around it. Decisive and early getting to his spots and picking his sight lines. The downside is, on the last 2 goals, those are ones where Ingram's probably got the ice sealed, right? He doesn't have the same upside laterally, but he also doesn't open up as much when he moves. So there's going to be a give and take between the two. At the end of the day, you're getting outplayed in the series, and the results kind of match it.
So, Kevin, you're saying that the numbers obviously look good and positive for Jarry. They're obviously in a do-or-die situation now. Are you going back with Jarry? Is there a chance that maybe you're going back with Connor?
It's a great question. I think when you look at those screen results, and the way the Ducks were able to sort of very specifically, I think, go after Connor Ingram and the success that Jarry had for the most part. Like, and like hat tip to Tristan Jarry and hat tip to Peter Aubry, right? Like we used to talk about this with Stuart Skinner when he'd get pulled and then he'd come back and he'd play really well. And I used to talk about how Dustin Schwartz, the goalie coach, deserves some credit there because it's not easy on the goalie mentally. And it usually is a sign also of a goalie coach who's doing the right work to help them feel good about their game, even when they're not in games. That was not easy. And he played, like I said, the numbers were better than expected by just a hair. But to your point, like I thought he looked in control most of the night, right? Like would I like to see the knees on the ice and some of those, butterfly stuff to maybe help with those second chances rather than sort of that desperation lunge. But like that's never really been his game. And the things that he does well, he did well last night. So I'm probably going back with him. And hey, listen, you're not going to find a bigger Connor Ingram fan than me, right? Like what he's gone through, the upside I believe in his game. But right now, Anaheim is dictating more, I would say, than Edmonton is. They're creating more high danger chances on the series. They're +10 in high danger chances compared to the Oilers. And they are very specifically going after things that, or they did at least in Ingram's case that weren't working for him or that were relative weaknesses. So I tend toward Jarry. But on the flip side, guys, if I'm looking at what Edmonton's creating and what we talked about with Lucas Dastaal in terms of strengths and weaknesses of his game, I'm not seeing enough. And maybe some of that is credit for sure to the Ducks, and their defending has been better than what we saw on the season as a whole. But like east-west plays and slot line plays across the middle of the ice were the biggest bugaboo for Lucas Dastaal this season. We're 4 games in, and he's only faced 5. Like the Ducks averaged, again, playoffs, maybe they've tightened this up, but the Ducks average more than 3 a game against high danger chances across the middle of the ice. And so far in the playoffs, it's barely over 1. And they've scored on 1 of those 5. The only part of the pre-scout they've gone after successfully is traffic. They've scored as much as we talk about screens on Ingram. They've scored 4 screen goals on Lucas Dastaal, and they're averaging, I think, 3 screen shots a game on Dastaal. I remember 2 years ago when it was against the Canucks and they finally figured out that, hey, Artur Silovs hasn't learned how to manage traffic at the NHL level. They got that up to 5 screenshots a game and basically won the series because of it. So if you're not going to be able to create east-west, you might want to win some of those battles in front of the net and create a little more traffic in front of this guy's eyes.
Kevin Woodley from In Goal Magazine joins us. Kevin, you look at the other series that are close, Montreal and Tampa Bay. And, it's interesting. There's been some goals on Vasilevsky where you're like, geez, but on breakaways, they can't beat him, right? Like Demidov had that other great chance late in the game, and then he stones him there. What have you made of Vasilevsky's series thus far?
It kind of feels like, and this is the hard part for Andre, is that like, and there's a little bit of this with Jay Gottinger. Like when you have so much playoff experience, like you guys have heard me talk about this before, like your game never gets broken down to the degree it does when you have a playoff run. Like other teams are looking for every advantage. It's not like you're going to pass up breakaways, obviously, but like he's almost unbeatable one-on-one. And yet when we talk about chaos and traffic and tips and broken plays, like he has 3 first-round playoff exits, Andre Vasilevsky, coming into this season. He had given up 55 goals in those 3 playoff exits, first-round playoff exits. 35 of them were on screens, broken plays, and deflections, and rebounds. So, like, in other words, teams recognize how good he is along the ice, almost unbeatable. You have to elevate. And even in clear lanes, clear sight lines, that's not enough. You have, people know you have to create chaos to beat Andre Vasilevsky. And so teams do. And I think we're seeing that a lot in this series as well. Like Vasilevsky had a very favorable defensive environment this year. We talked about it when I was walking through the tough choices for the Vezina Trophy. Like he was really good, but he was really good behind a really favorable environment. Right now in the first round of the playoffs, and part of this is Montreal creating chaos. Part of this is Montreal just having elite players that when they get a chance, they bury a chance. His expected save percentage is .871. Like that's down near where Frederik Andersen was for the season as the lowest expected save percentage in the entire league. Montreal has done a great job of making this a very difficult series on Andre Vasilevsky. And I think you sort of point to a great example, like one-on-one, you almost can't beat him, especially along the ice, especially on breakaways. But move the puck around the zone with multiple bodies for him to look over. We see him, he gets on his tippy toes. He's got his head way high. Like, it's really hard to sort of go from that elevated stance, trying to look up and over screens, and then straight into a save stance, and sort of your eye level changes so much that it's very difficult to fully and properly track pucks out of that stance. And so we're seeing teams create those types of chances. And much as we've seen in the last 3 seasons, that's what leads to success. Now, the question is, will it be enough for Montreal against the Tampa Bay Lightning? I mean, the fact that it's a coin flip at this point, I didn't see Montreal as a playoff threat because, much like Anaheim, their underlying defensive numbers in the regular season were not impressive. And maybe I discounted too much how potent they are offensively and how much, when you do get buy-in, they have the ability to sort of crank things down defensively a little bit. Because, Jakub Dobiš, his expected environment is right around league average. Like it's not bad at all. He's not having to stop bullets in his teeth. And that's what I thought both the Ducks and the Canadians would be asking of their goaltenders based on the regular seasons they had. It hasn't been the case so far.
Kevin, Carolina looks good to me as a team. I know they had some question marks going into the playoffs. Is Freddie Anderson, do you think he's getting enough credit for what he's doing?
It reminds me of last year, Sean. Like Freddie, like people forgot, and this kind of made my life a little easier because I'm a big fan of Brandon Bussey, and what he did this year was remarkable in his first year of pro. Like 31 wins in like 40 games, remarkable stuff. But I think it was really easy to forget how good Freddie Anderson was in the playoffs last year for the first 2 rounds. And that's why it made it easy for me to, when I had to pick which one I thought would start and do my breakdown, because I didn't have the hours in the day to watch 100 goals on each guy, I picked Freddie Anderson. And I think that's largely why the Carolina Hurricanes did as well. It's tough to play behind Carolina. They give up a lot of quality and not a lot of quantity. You don't get we've talked about this before. You don't get the feeler shots. You don't get the ones that get you into a game. You stand there for 5 minutes while your team's pasting the guy in the other end and he's stopping bullets in his teeth as Linus Ullmark did. And boom, you got a 3-on-2 or a 2-on-1. You got to face a point blank opportunity. Just the focus required. Obviously, it's going to be dialed in the playoffs, and Freddie's done that. The only question I have, Sean, for him, and this is one that will continue to get louder and louder as they go on, is can he stay healthy? Not even healthy from a can I play standpoint, but healthy in terms of feel good about my game. Because I thought when they got into double overtime at game 2, you could see it in his legs. There were moments where he looked like he was fatiguing already. And I think if that wasn't a 2-day break between game 2 and game 3, they would have at least been talking about it in that Carolina room. Do we make a switch here even for just one game? So it's more about the durability and the wear and tear from this point forward for Freddie Anderson. And hey, at least you have a different option in Brandon Bussey. And at some point, Carolina might have to make a difficult decision. Like, Freddie's our guy, but are we going to lose our guy if we keep riding him? Do we need to give him a night off and 3-day break in between starts?
Yeah, I know that's it's totally valid. Kev, great stuff as always, buddy. We appreciate so quickly recovering for the Oilers. They got to do more east-west and goal line plays. Is that correct?
I mean, just east-west, man. Like, it's easy for me to say if the Ducks are preventing it, it's hard to force it if they're defending it better. But, I think Lucas Dostal outlined it going into the series, like 3rd most goals in the entire league on east-west plays, 3rd most chances as well, was well underwater on those types of chances. The Ducks typically average 3 against per game. The Oilers have 5 in 4 games. You got to make him go side to side and get shots on net. And that's kind of a formula for all goalies. And Dostal's such a good skater that it surprised me when I looked at the numbers and when I looked at the video that it was such an issue. But it is, and they haven't done nearly enough. Down low, below the hash marks to his left, up high in the zone to his right. You got to find ways to attack that more than the Oilers have thus far. And if you can't, then, man, you need to average more than 3 screenshots a game. Get it up near the 5 that the Ducks had on the Oilers last night.
Awesome. Thanks, Kev. We appreciate it, buddy. Have a great day.
Thanks.
It's Kevin Woodley from In Goal Magazine and NHL.com. We'll come back. We got the Oil Report and more. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Great news for your weekend project. CFI, that's Custom Floors Inc., is now open 6 days a week with Saturday hours from 10 till 2. Get top quality Canadian products from Beaulieu with the convenience you need. For your free estimate, visit CFI at CustomFloorsInc.ca.
Do you sit around at work listening to sports radio all day? That's right, my friend. There's no shame in it. It's the good life. And we're not here to snitch. Hey, if your company advertised on Sports 1440, you could be the one listening for your company's ad every day. Now you've got an excuse to listen to Sports 1440 all day. It's part of the job. Sounds like someone's getting a promotion. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca and let's get to work for you.
I've got some good news if you've been thinking about a heavy-duty truck. The 2026 Ram 2500 Black Express is now at St. Albert Dodge. You've got 20-inch black aluminum wheels, black Mopar side steps, body color, bumpers and grille, and a Sport Performance hood. Available in all the colors for $68,990. Plus, new this year, Ram's best-in-class 10-year powertrain warranty. Now's the time. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Want to invest in Alberta's workforce, fill your talent pipeline, and get funding? Careers, the next generation connects employers with motivated, pre-vetted youth through funded internships. Easy, impactful, and risk-free.
When you work with a group like Careers who have experience in that area, they can demystify and navigate all the complex steps and stakeholders that have to be involved.
Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
Euphoria is back, and it's only on Crave. The groundbreaking HBO original Critics Call, one of the most explosive, heartbreaking, and entertaining shows on television, returns for a new season, starring Emmy winner Zendaya.
If you make a deal with the devil, there's no turning back.
A new chapter begins. The real world awaits, and their story changes forever.
Wherever these unlucky folk go, there's a cascade of trouble.
Euphoria, new season, stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Hey, this is Todd James, honorary ride captain for the Edmonton Motorcycle Ride for Dad, raising funds and awareness in the battle against prostate cancer. Join us this Saturday for our 10th annual kickoff fundraiser at Blackjack's Roadhouse in Nisku, with live music from Travolta's, playing the best 70s disco hits, silent and live auctions, 50-50 and more. All money raised goes to this June's ride in support of the Prostate Cancer Fight Foundation. That's this Saturday. Tickets just $35. Details on the Ride for Dad Edmonton Facebook page.
She's like, hey, did you run into the goalie? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, he didn't come today. Something was sore. My back.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We roll through a lovely Monday afternoon. Good news, boys and girls. It is starting to warm up, thankfully. Tomorrow, double digits. I know many of you had a little bit of a tease. You had a few days of golf, and then it went away. But hopefully it is back for good now. And it's going to be much nicer here in the coming days. I know Oiler fans, you're looking for a bright spot. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. And I look at the Oilers and areas of the game that got to improve. You know, we've been watching the replay here, Brownie, and you agreed with me. You're like, geez, it is harder. Like the Oilers, I'm sorry, the constant stretch pass, and I know they've outscored them 5-on-5. So it's not like it's killing them, but I think it's limiting extended zone ozone time.
Play. Yeah, I mean, they're neutral zone. I mean, you watch it here, and I love the fact that they replay these games in the afternoon. It makes it much easier to kind of follow all the different series. But anyway, yeah, I mean, just their neutral zone to me, too, is their inability to, make those plays kind of under pressure.
Yeah.
Anaheim's just looks like to me a much better checking team with their details, body position, skating, work to get there, work to check. They create turnovers. They make it, I thought they made it really hard on the Oilers, as far as, turning pucks over, getting them to turn pucks over so that they can transition, they get pucks back, on offense and, to get their licks in, to not necessarily, win the game in the first or second period, but to put them in a good position to wear teams down so that they can eventually win the game. And that's obviously why they have a lot of success coming back as a team.
Hey guys, what are your thoughts on the Oilers not getting the dirty air? It seemed like they're too content and staying to the outside. Hyman looks slow. I wonder if evaluating some younger kids up. Leon's terrible as well from Steve. Well, I'll disagree with a lot. The Draisaitl, Kapanen, Podkolzin line, Steve, I don't know what you're watching. They're killing it. They're 5-0 at 5-on-5 right now. So I would stop at any point other than if you want to do the odd shift after a power play, after a penalty kill of McDavid, Draisaitl, but it ain't working, right? It ain't working. Keep the Draisaitl line together as long as you can. Because guess what? When you take Kapanen away, Podkolzin and Draisaitl played 7 minutes away from Kapanen in the playoffs. They've been outscored 3-1. Kasperi Kapanen hasn't been on the ice for a goal against 5-on-5. You look at his shot total, he's crushing it. His goal total, 6-0. He's played great, right? Like, look at his shot. He's scoring from distance. He's scoring on rebounds. He's doing everything. Offensively, that's your line. So don't mess up that line to try to get other lines going. I've never understood that as a coach. Well, geez, you know what? We got to get McDavid going. No, you don't. He'll figure it out. Look in the third period. He attacked twice with speed. Got some really good chances. But that Draisaitl line is crushing it. So figure out the other pieces around it, but do not change that line. I wouldn't change that line at all. Hyman's banged up. We've said that all along. So he's playing, but at what percentage is he? I think the deeper it goes in the playoffs, probably the harder it is. But sometimes with those things, you get rest on the right day and you feel a little bit better. So
that's a concern, though. Do you not feel he's obviously a little banged up. Draisaitl's a little banged up. McDavid looks like he's a little banged up. I mean, good on Colorado for doing what they did to LA, because that rest, the games that you don't play are important, right? And having that opportunity, if you want to go on a long run, you need a little bit of luck, and you need to make sure that, your top guys aren't getting nicked up, right? So, that's obviously you can't look past the first round and who they're playing against. But, I'm thinking, wow, which they should go on a run, it is a little bit of concern, the abuse that some of their top players have taken.
Yeah. Like they might have to look, maybe it gets, Rosovic a few extra minutes, but I was looking at like McDavid didn't even play 20 minutes last game, right? Yeah. They didn't overplay their guys in game 4. They had 8 forwards play 15 minutes. You had 9 play 13. That's basically what you're going to do, right? Like there's not, It's not many more minutes there. Like, what are you going to play McDavid less than 19 minutes? Like, I don't think that's realistic. So, and again, offensively isn't the problem here. Oilers scoring isn't their concern. They get goals early. They've scored first in every game. They can't hold the damn lead. So that's a problem. They can't hold the lead and they can't kill a penalty.
What do you think of Roslovic? Was a guy that I kind of thought would be someone that would maybe kind of, okay, here's your moment, big opportunity. Little disappointed in him, right? I find you talk about getting to the middle of the ice. I don't find him getting to the middle of the ice.
He's on the outside a lot.
And he's getting pushed around and he's getting knocked out.
Yeah, well, this was the thing, like, and I wrote it today at Oilersnation.com. I had my 10 thoughts on the game, and I just said, Kasperi Kapanen, you look at the pending UFAs of the Edmonton Oilers. Priority number 1 should be Kasperi Kapanen. To me, it's not even close.
Yeah.
Right? You look at Kasperi Kapanen and, like, well, Jason Dickinson I like too.
Yeah.
But, and I wouldn't mind Roslovic, but if he wants $4 million, not happening. And I think, like, now the series isn't over, but Roslovic's whole thing was he wanted to kind of debunk how he performed in the playoffs. And so far through 4 games, hasn't done it. Playoffs, it's a willingness and a desire to get to the harder areas. And Kapanen is. Look at where Kapanen's scoring from. He'll score from, like, look at it, and he's got a great shot, and he's big, and he's fast. And you know what? Like, you got to re-sign him, right? Yeah. You're probably not re-signing Henrique. So that frees up some money. And, like, it's funny, the way Max Jones was playing, they probably could use him. Bigger body that could skate, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he's close yet, but I look at Kapanen, and I've loved how he's played. And you're right. When you compare him and Roslovic hasn't done himself any favors to, would Edmonton re-sign him? Yes, because you still need guys who can score in the regular season. And Roslovic hasn't been awful, but he hasn't been great.
Yeah.
It hasn't really been noticeable yet in the postseason.
Yeah, no, I'm a little bit disappointed in him. And Dickinson, I mean, it's too bad that he's had this, ankle injury here because, man, do I like him. His greasiness and his size and his ability to get in on the forecheck. But, I mean, the Oilers also have to give those guys, Kapanen, I just, I don't keep meaning to harp on it, but, give those guys an opportunity to work on and get to the areas of the ice where they're most effective, which is the forecheck, right? They're hard guys. I know, being a defenseman, I would not want to play against those guys consistently, Podkolzin and those guys. It's not, the fact that they're always going to crush you, but they're always going to finish their check. They're always going to make it hard, right? And I think what Anaheim is doing to the Edmonton Oilers defense, as far as, having speed through the neutral zone, being able to be connected, getting in on the forecheck, right? Just getting those hits. It just sets them up nicely for the second and third period, and they have that consistency with their game. And regardless of how they're playing or the situation, they don't deviate from that, and they give their players a chance to be successful. And the Oilers, I think that's kind of where they're kind of missing to me right now. They're just not able to have that consistently shift after shift to allow Dickinson and some of their bigger guys, Kapanen, to be effective, because they are, right? Make them play defense. They're a handful, right? They protect the puck well. All those guys have good enough skill that they protect it and can make those plays. And obviously they got elite shots and right now have a little bit of confidence in their game where they can produce offensively.
I find Edmonton resorts too much to their ring the puck around the boards to try to keep the cycle alive, right? Like,
side.
yeah, they switch side. And I get it, you do it a little bit, but they're doing it back and forth. And the puck's in the zone, but that's easier to defend, right? Lots of time guys receiving it, his back's to the middle of the ice.
Yeah.
Guess what? I know I have an extra half second before that guy can look and see where that plays. Like, now Draisaitl is one of the few that he can catch and make the play, but a lot of the other times they don't. I'd like to see them. They're too spread out, I find, at times. And sometimes it works. Don't get me wrong. Like when they want to cycle at each side and then they get it to the middle of the ice, we see the third forward high. Lots of teams have done that now. Something we never used to see. And now you see, the centerman cycles high in the offensive zone, just inside the blue line, takes the puck, and now you can see something create, and that works. But I'd like to see them, and Kevin Woodley just said, they still don't have enough traffic in front consistently. Get body in front of the net and get a little greasier. But really, at the end of the day, to me, it's not offense. Defensively, now, a good offense will allow them not to have to play defense as much. And that could be a part in it here. They need more consistent offensive zone time just so they're not playing defense. I don't even care if they score. But if they're in the offensive zone more, guess what?
Yeah.
They're in the defensive zone less, and that's what they need. especially when they got a lead.
Yeah, and you got to give Anaheim credit too. I mean, that whole switching sides there, that's a big part of the game right now. But what I think they're doing well, and we just talked about with Roslovic, is their defensemen are, they got the ability right now that they're closing and they're shutting it down. They're knocking guys down, they're shutting it down. They got quick support, which is allowing them to kind of get out of their zone. And for the Oilers' sake, they're just not able to really get that zone time to keep it alive. And that's something that, you got to give, the defensive core of Anaheim, is that they're playing heavy hard and shutting it down quickly. And that's something that, once again, that, everyone's going to do it. The Oilers need to return the favor and shut it down so that they're spending less time in their zone as well. Because you talked about it earlier in the series, or when you were down in the dressing room, they got some big forwards. They got some big guys, and it's hard. It's hard to knock those guys off the puck, and Anaheim's doing a super job at protecting the puck, holding on to it, getting a little bit of zone time, even if you're not even creating anything off of it, just the wear and tear that takes throughout a game.
Quick break. When we return in hour number 2, Seth Rohrbach will join us. We'll get to Chris Knobblock's comments, what changes are coming. We'll put our coach's hat on, what changes we'd make. And if you got any thoughts on what you would make, what changes, and realistic ones here. Let's talk realistic changes that you think are doable when you don't have a practice, right? You can't reinvent the wheel overnight, but there are some tweaks I think that you could do to see if you can have a little bit more success, mainly on the penalty kill and preferably in the second period. We'll get to the second period after Connor Halley and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. At Fountain Tire, we say we're on the road together. We mean it. From tires, wheels, oil changes, and auto repairs, visit fountaintire.com. Find out more.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
2 games on the ice tonight in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Flyers can wrap up their series with a win over the Penguins at 5. Then at 7:30, Mammoth hosting the Golden Knights. Utah leading 2-1 in the association. You got the Pistons and Magic 6 o'clock from Orlando. Orlando up 2-1 in that one. The Thunder can complete the sweep if they beat the Suns at 7:30. Then at 8:30, it's the Nuggets trying to stay alive as they host the Timberwolves down 3-1. Major League Baseball, Jays kicking off the series with the Red Sox. First pitch 5:07. We'll join that game in progress on our AM feed just after 6 o'clock. Elsewhere, Rays Guardians. Pirates host the Cards. The Mariners head to Minnesota. Yankees get the Rangers. Padres and the Cubs. And the Marlins in LA taking on the Dodgers. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Pittsburgh Penguins beat reporter Seth Rohrbach and ask 5 questions. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lotteries. Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780-all-7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
At GS Construction, we're multitaskers. We've got lots of projects going on all around Edmonton and area. Different teams across the city working towards the same outcome. Installing today what will serve generations to come. It's a rewarding career and the work never stops. That's why GS Construction is always on the lookout for great people to join us. Right now, we're looking for experienced topmen, pipe layers, operators, and surveyors. So if you want to feel valued, empowered, and engaged in your work, visit gsconstruction.ca today.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
When life unexpectedly changes, it can leave us feeling unbalanced, uncertain, and unsure of how to move forward. But you don't have to go through it alone. I'm Corey Anderson with Fairway Divorce Solutions. Our team helps reestablish balance, guiding you through your divorce with compassion, clarity, and support. Fairway has helped more than 6,500 families across Canada find a path towards a peaceful, fair resolution. With 2 offices in Edmonton, we're here to make your journey easier. Discover your options at Fairway Divorce.
Experience the home ice advantage with your window coverings. Novo Blinds provides factory direct pricing and fast turnaround on roller, zebra, blackout, drapery, and motorized blinds. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
Ready to upgrade your ride this spring? Come on down to the Golf Cart People. They're a family-owned and operated business that's been serving the community since '97. Whether you're looking for a brand new or quality pre-owned cart, a rental for a special event, they do that too. The Golf Cart People have a huge selection of parts and accessories, and their expert service team is here to keep you rolling. The Golf Cart People, your one-stop shop for everything golf cart. Visit golfcartpeople.com.
What does deadline mean?
It means you have to do something before time runs out.
Oh, like buying your big brother's, big sister's dream home tickets?
Yes, exactly like that.
The Dream Home Lottery deadline is April 30th, just 3 days away. Your chance to win the grand prize, your choice, a dream home or $1 million and take home half the Win 50 jackpot is almost gone. Every ticket supports kids right here in our community. BigBrothersDreamHome.org. When you buy a ticket, you help a child.
Lottery license 745563 and 745562. Please play responsibly.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Need equipment for on the job fast? Japa Equipment Rentals in Atchison has you covered. Excavators, wheel loaders, compaction equipment, and more. Backed by expert service. Visit japamachinery.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Rolling through on a Monday afternoon, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sean Brown, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Of course, Declan Kruger running things over at the YouTube and Facebook. So say hi to him, give him a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. We very much appreciate it. Hope you're having an awesome day. We got lots more hockey talk to get to. We're going to get to the Oil Report and more. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. As always, you can go to PlayAlberta.ca, check out the Jason Gregor Show. We got a few Osboo specials for you tonight. You got to go with the hot hand. How about Porter Martone and Crosby? A little parlay action between them, and even a little Blue Jays taking on the Red Sox and their new manager tonight. And what about the Golden Knights? Can they win on the road? Will the Flyers end it? Check it out, PlayAlberta.ca. The Edmonton Oilers, I did have a brief meet availability today in Anaheim before their flight back to Edmonton as we get to the Oil Report brought to you by Go Auto. Cars, trucks, SUVs, you name it, they have it. Over 15,000 vehicles to choose from. 73 different locations. Go to goauto.ca. You'll find a location near you and a car that you want. Goauto.ca. And Chris Knobblock was asked about the job the Ducks have done slowing them down and maybe limiting Edmonton's possession time. How can they change that?
Well, this time of the year, it's obviously there's a lot less space out on the ice. Numbers are back, but everyone's back checking a little bit harder. There's not as many odd man rushes there shouldn't be, and we just haven't been able to. That's obviously getting it low, and we felt like when we do have possession in the offensive zone, we've been able to create some quality chances. It's just consistently doing it shift after shift.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the hardest part. I mean, as a coach, you're coming up with the game plan, but obviously the players are the ones that are the ones that need to execute it. And, I think when the plays are there, you make the plays, but, I think sometimes the simplicity of the game too is something that, can be overlooked at times, and, when to make a play, and then when the situation just calls for speed and simplicity to allow you to kind of establish something. And once you establish something, before check hitting, you get them back on their heels a little bit. Then all of a sudden the time and space opens up, and now the skill plays start to happen.
And how do they get to this spot despite having a lead in every game? You're 1-3 in games you've had a lead in twice. You've had 2 goal leads.
Yeah, I think every game's been a little bit different. A lot of it has been the times of penalty kills, and we haven't been able to get the last save or another clear or a block shot or a loose puck or something like that. It's unfortunate. Credit to Anaheim playing a good game, but we got to find ways to just be a little bit better.
Now, what about penalty kill? Reevaluating it, you got to make some changes?
Yes. Now that we have Dickinson, Szymanski back in the lineup, obviously we're missing Henrique, which is a huge hole for us. But I think there's some penalty kill time that I would like us not to take 4 penalties a game, but I think there'll be maybe his penalty kill time is usually a secondary role. Usually it's one shift for about 20 to 30 seconds. I can't say that he won't be used on the penalty kill, but as a secondary role.
Well, you got to use McDavid. He's good at it, right? So, but yes, taking fewer penalties, that would be the first one, Brownie, because now I didn't love the Zach Hyman one. I was like, geez, I'm not sure that would, I thought that was just a hard hit. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean that it's tough because ultimately, I mean they're making it's got to be tough on these linesmen or in referees to with the emotion and the excitement in the building, and they're making these split calls and the quickly. But yeah, I mean that's a tough one. But I'm wondering to get your thoughts a little bit, Gregor. Do you feel like is it an emotional enough series when you look at Montreal and you look at some of the, Ottawa, Carolina? Like, have they really brought any emotion and into the trenches at all? And,
no.
And just that alone, if you're doing that, does that solve or fill some of the holes that are there in their game? I think so, right? I mean, they have the guys to do it. But just seems to me like, if you're watching a series or and you're just a casual fan, is this the series that you're tuning into because it's got everything? It's got the emotions, it's got the skill, it's got the best player in the world. I just, to me, I don't feel like they're emotionally invested right now as much as they could be to give themselves a chance to maybe get through this and fill some of the holes that in the overall team of their game. What do you think?
Well, I've always argued that I think Edmonton at times plays better when the game gets a little bit more emotional and chippy. And it's not like the Ducks have an overly aggressive team. Like, you've got Vial. Okay. Who else? Like, who else in your team where you're just like, oh, geez, if this gets into the trenches here, we should be concerned. No one.
Yeah.
Like, look at their fourth line. Washy, hard player. Not anybody you're scared of. Vial's the only guy. And Podkolzin, who's not a regular fighter, did more than fine against him, right? Then you got Nurse, you got Fredwick, you got Doc. Yeah, I'd like to see it more. I'd like to see a little bit more animosity.
I love the fight. I love the fight of Podkolzin.
Yeah.
But where the timing of it is what I didn't like. Like, where's this at the beginning? right? Not at the end. It's at the beginning for me, where I would like to see some of that emotion, and see kind of Murphy and Darnell Nurse, right? Like scrum it up a little bit, right? Make guys pay a price, give them an extra shot. I mean, I know we're talking about penalties and not taking stupid penalties, but if you can be a little bit harder around the net and be a little bit harder on their skilled players, I'd like to, are their top players at the end of a game sitting in the trainer's room with an ice bag, from as a result of, finishing your check and making it hard on these guys. I just, I think that you can talk about strategy and you can talk about a lot of different things about the game, but until you emotionally invest yourself in the game, I think some of that stuff takes care of itself once you do that.
More from Knobblock, and just how, the Ducks have found ways to get back in games when trailing. How much is it a compliment to them? How much is a concern for the Oilers?
Yeah, absolutely. Credit to them. They've this season, I think they set an NHL record for most come from behind wins in the last 5 or 2 minutes or something like that. And obviously there's not any quit or belief that they're never out of a game. It's very important that we stay the course and not giving those opportunities. And probably the biggest opportunities that we're giving them are for their power play.
Yes. Like, you got to be more disciplined, 100%. So that would definitely help. Where does the coach come out on the fatigue factor? Does he buy into it over the last few years?
I think the energy level is there. I think we're ready. Obviously, there has been a lot of hockey, but yeah, I don't think that should be warranted as an excuse.
I would agree wholeheartedly, because here's the thing. Tampa Bay went to 3 straight cups in a row. Florida went to 3 straight cups in a row. Yeah, Edmonton's been to 2. That's okay. But you know what? I don't like looking for excuses. I don't think the fact that they went to Stanley Cup last year, the year before, is why they're trailing 3-1 down. I don't buy that at all.
Yeah, they have played a lot of hockey. It is the NHL. They're so well taken care of. There's all that load management stuff. Trainers have more information, access to more tools and different things that can help them kind of get back to where they are at 100%. But, there is a mental toll, I would say. This is a grinding game, not only physically, but mentally. But hey, at the end of the game, you're getting paid well to be a professional hockey player.
And the motivation, they want to win a cup, right? Like, I don't think you're just like, oh, geez, I'm too tired. I can't really give my best. Like, if other teams can do it 3 years in a row, and I'm talking like just the last 3 years and then the previous 3 years before that, like it's the last 6 years you've had 2 different organizations go 3 years in a row. So you can't tell me that it's a different era, anything like that. No, it's happened in this era.
Yeah, and you're playing against a team that, obviously is confident right now and has a belief. And when you're confident and have a belief, and you're kind of in a situation where this is all kind of new and you don't have probably the same amount of pressure that Edmonton has. Like, they're supposed to win the Stanley Cup. They're supposed to get at least to the Stanley Cup. Anaheim's going to be the future, along with some of the other, Montreals and stuff. But right now, it's just, this is all new to them, and this is exciting, and they have some belief. And right now, the Oilers got to find a way to kind of take some of that belief and a little bit of that confidence and kind of bring that back to their game.
So put on your coaching hat for a second. What tweaks would you make if you're Knobblock for Game 5? You give me yours, and I'll give you mine.
I think that it's just probably just the simplicity of how you have to play, whether it's, your star players. I mean, we've seen that in game 1 and 2 with Connor McDavid taking on 3 guys and probably, trying to do a little too much, coming from a good place, wanting to win and wanting to, have success. I mean, I think all superstars or all players, and it goes to show even your best players at times have to have some of that simplicity into their game, especially in the playoffs. So, I would probably, as a coach, just stress it's not the big things as much as it's celebrating the little things, right? Celebrating.
But would you make any adjustments, systemic adjustments, player adjustments?
No, the Emerson thing on the penalty kill probably wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't know why Doc was out. I don't know if he was sick. I don't know if he was hurt. I think that Doc, in his size, his ability to get it on the forecheck and skate, kind of feeds into the whole way the Oilers have to play. If they want to play in the offensive zone, you want to play below the goal line, you want to be comfortable, you want to make these guys pay a price. He's a guy that can do that. So I look to see him back in the lineup. Like, was he out for any? Was it a healthy scratch?
I didn't see anything that claimed that he was sick. But Cons, did you see anything anywhere that claimed he was sick?
I saw he was sick.
Okay, so
okay.
So, because I think they miss his energy, no question about it. So I'd bring him back in for sure. If it's me, I would readjust my my breakout. I don't think this. You can't just live and die in the stretch pass. I don't think it's working. I think that's been clear. I would look to try to attack a little bit, start out deeper in my zone, have a little bit more outlet support. If you want to send one guy, I can't have three. So that would be my number one. Number two, I would look for specific matchups a little bit more now. I know who's going in this series, and I know who isn't going as well. So I got home ice advantage. I played for it all year long. Why the hell wouldn't I use it to my advantage at times? I'm not saying you have to go John Cooper and switch guys off every 10 seconds like you did with Cirelli, because A, that was on the road, but B, you're at home. So I would look to get some matchups that I want. I would try to get a few shifts, McDavid away from Lacombe. If I can, I would try to get any sort of D-zone start with Lacombe on there and put my fourth line on in the offensive zone to just try to, I know that goes a bucks a trend, but try to get physical on him. See if you can pound that, because Jackson Lacombe is leading the NHL in scoring with 8 points. Okay. He's got the best shot attempt differential in the entire playoffs. So that pairing's been really good. So I got to try to get them off their game a bit. That would be my number one focus. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, talk about some teams. Hey, trying to stave off elimination. Next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Protein drink should work as hard as you do. That's why Booster Juice is hitting the gym harder than ever, brother. Meet your new gym buddies, the Way Too Good and Green Games Booster Mixers. 2 new ripped and refreshing menu options that bench some serious protein. Perfect for pre or post-workout. Way Too Good and Green Games Booster Mixers taste like motivation. So what are you waiting for? Let's go!
Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Hold on to your hockey helmets, Edmonton. On the Rocks is serving up 69-cent wings that fly off the plate faster than a slap shot. And Molson Canadian and Coors Light for $5.75. Plus, OTR's TVs are so clear, you'll see the puck better than the ref.
That ain't hard, is it?
Score and win every game night during Edmonton's playoff run, with specials starting 30 minutes before puck drop and last for the whole game. Be a part of the legend. See the menu at ontherocksYEG.com.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Edmonton's only 24-hour-a-day sports radio station. Can be heard anytime, anywhere. Sports 1440 is streaming on your phone, your tablet, your computer. Download an app today and listen to Sports 1440.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. Use code 1440 for 15% off at notalonecode.com. It's okay to not be okay.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. Hire Good. Stable jobs create stable lives.
The Ford It's a Big Deal event is on now. Get a big deal on a 2026 F-150 STX with Black Appearance Package. Visit your Alberta Ford store today.
What is this? A mowing giant sale sign. It's for Canadian Tire's Spring Big Red Sale. I think they meant like big savings, not this.
Save up to 50% at Canadian Tire's Spring Big Red Sale, April 23rd to 30th. Exclusions apply. Details online.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Break 27, Jason Gregor, Sean Brown, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. The show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province. PlayAlberta.ca. You can check out Jason Gregor Show odds boost. And of course, we got some NHL games tonight. Flyers and Penguins, Vegas and Utah. Who do you think? Maybe a Martone Crosby parlay? Check it out. PlayAlberta.ca. As we go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. Deal sent right to your door. Check your mailbox for the latest McDonald's mailer loaded with delicious value. Only available until May 4th at participating restaurants in Western Canada. And the Penguins in the same position now that the Oilers are in. They're down 3-1. Both will be at home. Tonight it's the Penguins. Tomorrow it's the Edmonton Oilers. Seth Rohrbach joins us from the Pittsburgh Tribune Review. And Seth, obviously coming back from a 3-0 deficit is very difficult. 4 teams have only ever done it in the 215 times thus far. When you look at the Penguins game 4, what gives you belief that they could repeat that in game 5?
Maybe God, I don't know, honestly. These two teams just are, to me, they're just two very mediocre teams. I don't see either one really having much of a discernible edge over one or the other. You know, obviously the Flyers have a considerable edge in terms of games won in this series, but these are two fairly even, if mediocre teams. And I think if nothing else, that maybe gives the Penguins the greatest hope here. Dan Vladar, I mean, he's had a fine season, but to me, he's just a very mediocre goalie. And the Penguins themselves have two very mediocre goalies themselves. And, I know Sidney Crosby kind of came to life here, but I'm not convinced he's 100% healthy, especially coming off that injury in the Olympics. For them to do anything, he has to be at his best, even if he's not 100% healthy. And, he certainly was that, I guess, in game 4. But, the Flyers' depth, I think maybe is maybe giving them a greater advantage, throughout, the course of all 4 games here. The Penguins just aren't getting a lot of scoring depth. I mean, you look at guys like Anthony Mantha, who's somewhat surprisingly, the Penguins have 33 goals in the regular season. He has none.
Yeah.
And they've had to rely on, and some of the mainstays to start scoring. Ricardo Raquel had the fantastic effort on the 1 goal in game 4 there. Evgeny Malkin's been producing, but, I guess just maybe the Penguins' greatest hope is that neither team's all that good. And I think that gives the Penguins some hope here that they can, at the very least, get this to 6 games.
When you look at Mantha, and he had a great regular season for the Penguins, has he been around it and just getting unlucky, or has he not been able to bring the regular season Mantha to the playoffs?
He just hasn't been the regular season Mantha. If nothing else, he's been the postseason Mantha. Throughout his career, he's played 18 games. He's never scored a playoff goal in his career. He only has like 10 shots in this series as well. So, granted, a few of them have been somewhat quality and things like that, but he's just another guy out there. And again, I understand there was almost no expectation of him entering the season. It was kind of a prove-it contract, especially coming off the really serious knee injury he had last year with Calgary. But for a guy again who really came I don't say out of nowhere, but was a surprising leader for this team, a driver for them offensively. His no-show here has just been I don't want to say crippling, but it's been a significant reason why they're in the hole they are. So. And total, their third line, no matter who they put on it, they've had Igor Chinnikov, another guy stepped up from this year. He was on the third line for times. He has no goals. Ben Kindle, wonderful rookie from the Calgary Hitmen, draft pick this year, 18, now 19 years old, no goals here. Elmer Soderblom, a guy that they got from Detroit, kind of off the scrap heap at the trade deadline, put together some offense down the stretch of the regular season, no goals. So they really need to find someone on their third line to start chipping in here to really maybe kind of even the score here. As far as some of the depth battles between the two teams.
I know Skinner didn't play in the last game. I think it was Shearlovs that had the net, but maybe give us a little bit of an update. I know Philadelphia obviously got up 3-0 on him, but maybe give us an update on how he was playing. Was it that he was playing poorly, or maybe were Pittsburgh playing a little bit, giving up a little too much in front of him? What are your thoughts?
He played okay in the first two games. I would dare say he played okay, good enough for them to win the first two games. And the Penguins just themselves, again, they got shut out in game 2 and were only able to generate 2 goals in game 1. But game 3 probably came down to earth a little bit. A couple of the goals were a little leaky. For it, just to give you an idea of how leaky. I mean, Rasmus Ristolainen and Nick Seeler, 2 very much journeyman defensemen who pretty much there to play defense. They scored goals in game 3. So. I don't think it was necessarily, though, the change there was necessarily rooted in dissatisfaction with Skinner or lack of faith in him. Dan Muse just kind of outright said, we're down 0-3. We need to change something here. And, it worked out wonderfully in game 4. So they've platooned goaltenders all year. And that goes back to game 1 of the regular season when it was, Artur Shilovs and Tristan Jarry that continued on after the December 12th trade with, Jarry for Skinner essentially. That's kind of how it's played out. They gave Skinner a few more, consecutive starts down the stretch of the regular season. They seemed very interested in giving him every opportunity to kind of take this and run into the postseason. But when it didn't really work out, they went back to the guy that they leaned on just about half the season, and Artur Shilovs. And hey, Artur Shilovs has a halfway decent playoff resume, going back to when he was a Vancouver Canucks 2 years ago, and last season at the AHL level with Abbotsford. So. Again, I don't think either goaltender's an overwhelming favorite to take the ball and run here and string together a lot of games. It seems like they're more than willing to keep doing this by committee. And again, Stuart Skinner was okay in the first 2 games, kind of leaking the third game. They just have a little bit more faith at the moment in Artur Shilovs.
You look at Martone for Philadelphia. Has he surprised you at such an impact he's made for a rookie with less than 15 games pro experience?
Yeah, I would. Again, he just, he was playing college hockey this year, much different game, much different schedule set up. Obviously, they only play maybe like 36, 37 games a year, even if you go all the way to the Frozen Four at the college level. So you're always curious as far as, how quickly would he jump into this and figure it out. And just again, as an observer who doesn't watch Philadelphia Flyer hockey all that, intently, directly aside from maybe playoff matchups, and he's been a force out there. And it's not just the fact he's scoring goals; he's not afraid to get in, the faces of some of the Penguins players. And maybe, hey, that's just the culture of Flyers. Maybe once he's been enveloped in that, he kind of has, the courage or the boldness to kind of do some of those things. But he's been an impact in a lot of ways beyond just scoring goals. So. That said, I think, I mentioned that, he played 30 some games at the college level. I think that's maybe helped him in terms of, keeping him fresh here, to have him ready to go and, be physically ready to go playing, the high impact playoff games. Whereas, I'm looking at a guy like Ben Kindle who played almost every game in the regular season. I'm just wondering maybe if he's a little worn down from doing this type of schedule, this type of hockey for the first time in his life. So, Porter Martone, though, for a variety of reasons, has been an impactful player. And again, not just scoring goals.
Yeah.
What about Dan Muse? I mean, he's new to the league. He's obviously done a super job. I was kind of interested to see with Pittsburgh their veterans, being a little bit older, but he seems to have done a great job in pushing the right buttons. What have you seen and liked about him?
I think he's instilled a lot of confidence in a lot of their players here, and I think that's why you've. And that sounds like such a generic thing to say, but you look at just up and down this lineup, whether it's a veteran like Anthony Mantha or a journeyman like Justin Brazeau or Parker Witherspoon, Connor Dewar. So many of these guys are having career years just out of nowhere. It's not just one guy or two guys. It's 4, 5, 6 guys here. Ben Kindle's been a revelation. Again, even if he's waned off here a little bit, he's been a revelation at 18 years old before he turned 19 a few weeks ago. And I think the way he's also captured maybe some of the attention of the veterans here. Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Chris Letang, they've gone through 5, 6, 7 coaches over the year. Their last coach here was for 10 years. He's found a way to command their attention, and they're not just looking at him as the young coach who he's maybe overwhelmed by any of this. The one thing that really stood out to me early in the season is Evgeny Malkin said when Dan Hughes came in here, he didn't treat them like veterans. He didn't treat the rookies like rookies. He said, he's treating everyone here like the same. You have a job, you go do it. There's not preferential treatment just based on veteran status or what you're made. If you may have a Hall of Fame resume or if you're just a journeyman, that seems to have really rung something here with whether you're a veteran or a newer player. That Dan Hughes pretty much treats everyone pretty evenly. And at the same time, too, though, he's instilled a lot of confidence, a lot of guys, regardless of their situation. And I think that's a big reason why the Panthers were so successful this year. It's why they were one of the, I think they were the 3rd leading scoring team in the NHL this year. And again, it's been a little bit of everyone pulling the rope here. And like I said, I think the biggest thing has been you have so many guys here that for a variety of reasons are having career years.
Yeah, well, and then you always wonder, like sometimes you have a career year and then maybe reality kicks in and suddenly these guys aren't producing. I think Malkin's the only Penguin with multiple goals through the first 4 games of the series. It is only 4 games, but small sample size. That's what the playoffs are. So any changes you see Muse doing, whether it's, how he approaches systemically, is there any matchups now that he's going to want more than maybe he would have wanted in game 1 or 2 when he had a home ice?
I think he's going to try to get Sidney Crosby away from Travis Sanheim a little bit more, especially as the home team tonight. Change off the faceoffs. Sanheim's been the guy that's really been assigned to Crosby really throughout most of this. And, Sanheim has the wheels and, he has the familiarity with Crosby, having played with him internationally as well. So that's been a matchup I think Philadelphia has really liked. I think Rick Tocchet's really enjoyed that, seeing that. I think if the Penguins can get Crosby, even if it's just 1 or 2 shifts away from Sanheim, that might be enough of the difference. So, that was a matchup they didn't exactly, or an advantage in terms of the faceoffs and the changes. They didn't exactly maximize in games 1 and 2, but I think it's something that would behoove them if they could find a way to get Sidney Crosby away from Travis Sanheim. That might open up a few more things for Crosby. And again, with this series being fairly tight, 1 or 2 shifts might be the difference.
Seth, we appreciate it, man. Thanks so much for this. Enjoy the Battle of Pennsylvania, round 5 tonight.
Anytime, guys. Be well.
There you go. That's Seth Rohrbaugh joining us from Pittsburgh. And hey, when you had so many guys have career years, that's how you make the playoffs. But Anthony Mantha, 33 goals, 64 points. Got no goals in the playoffs. Chinakhov had 18. He had 36 points in 43 games after the trade. Hey, like that's a 30-plus goal scorer, a 35-goal scorer. Right there. Ben Kindle is a rookie. Great year. Half a point game player. Nothing. So if that many guys play great for you and then suddenly that many guys fall off, it's hard. And you could wonder, was this just inevitable? That, if all these guys have their careers at once, is it inevitable to repeat?
Yeah, it's for me, they were an interesting to watch this year just because I think we're all Sidney Crosby fans and knowing that, the end is coming and the league is much better to have Crosby in the playoffs and everyone wanted to see that, including seeing Letang and Malkin and that. So the fact that I think they exceeded my expectations. I didn't expect them to get there. I'm actually really impressed with Dan Hughes. I think that's got to be very difficult and hard for a young coach to come into the league with established superstars and to, establish his culture and his expectations. I think that's a credit to him, but I also think it's, a credit to the leaders and the type of players that those guys are, to be able to be coached. And I think there's nothing better for me to see or hear when the best players in the world are the best players, not only on the ice, but just the best players in the way they approach the game and how much they're willing to be coached. Because what's his name? Sullivan was probably, for me, one of the best coaches. They're coming off of one of the best coaches to coach in the NHL, to a new coach, and to be open to that, I think is pretty impressive for me.
Yeah. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley with you. We'll come back. We'll get to 5 questions and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lotteries, Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play.
Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
For the first time in 66 years, Golden Bears and Pandas hockey are on the move. During the 2026-27 Canada West season, 2 of the most successful hockey programs in U Sports history will call Silent Ice Center in Nisku their temporary home. The Golden Bears and Pandas are excited to connect with the South Edmonton community and welcome new fans to experience the tradition and excitement of U of A hockey. Same tradition, new temporary home. Golden Bears and Pandas hockey at Silent Ice Center for the 26-27 season.
Cantork has turned 25. That's right, 25 years of building tools so good, they practically torque themselves. Hard work and innovation equals problem solved. See our latest designs at cantork.com.
50-50-50. Right now at Papa John's, you order carry-out, you get 50% off the pizza. Loaded with the toppings you love. You want pepperoni? You got it. You want the works? Done. Always made with our fresh, never frozen dough. Half the price for the pizza you already love. When you come grab it, just use promo code CO50. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. 50% off regular menu price pizzas. Carry out only. Use promo code CO50. Participating locations, restrictions may apply.
Want sports talk on the go?
You can listen to 1440 on the AM dial or stream us on your mobile device through apps like Radio Player, iHeart, and Stingray Music.
Edmonton sports fans,
turn to Sports 1440.
1440.
It's Truck Month at Wolf GMC Buick, and we know trucks. And we have the best deals of the year right now. Some have 0% for 4 years. We have 0% for 6 years. That's on our #1 selling GMC Sierra half-ton crew cab, or the Elevation, the AT4, or Denali. Yep, 0% for 72 months. And Costco members get an extra discount on some of our SUVs. Pop in today and drive away smiling. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Mr. Rooter sees a UFO.
Mr. Rooter says 1 plunge, 2. What's this? A UFO? An unidentified floating object. It's beginning to glow and levitate.
Thank you, Mr. Rooter. You have freed us from the gravity of the white hole. Humanity will be spared.
Wow! People aren't going to believe this when I put it in our new commercial.
If you want to believe in a plumber, call Mr. Rooter.
Nothing beats getting a deal at McDonald's. Why? Because you get a deal now.
And a deal later.
Redeem an offer from the latest mailer or on the McDonald's app and dig into instant savings. Plus, you earn points towards
free McDonald's.
Now that's what I call
a double whammy of deals.
Why does that keep happening? Deals sent right to your door. Check your mailbox for the latest McDonald's mailer loaded with delicious value. For a limited time at participating restaurants in Western Canada.
Hi, it's Jason McCoy. You know, music's given me a lot of great moments, but nothing means more than time with my dad. When he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, a simple PSA blood test was key in detecting it early, and we got more years, more laughs, and more memories. Guys, it's a quick test that just might end up saving your life.
Join the Princess Auto Motorcycle Ride for Dad in Edmonton, Saturday, June 13th. Register or donate at ridefordad.ca.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Looking for a tasty lunch? Papa John's has you covered. Get a small 2-topping pizza for only $9.99 with code S999 at papajohns.ca. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
Yeah, it's Brendan Menard, right? $3:45. Welcome back. It is the Gregor Show presented by playalberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website, where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at playalberta.ca. Edmonton Oilers, everybody's flying home today. Oilers have landed already. Ducks just landed in Edmonton. I think we're going to have a press conference in about 15 minutes time. Joe Quenneville will speak, and obviously they're excited. They're up 3-1, and they're going to say, "Hey, you know what? We know the fourth game's the hardest to win." We know exactly what they're going to say, but the Edmonton Oilers, they got to come out. They better come out gangbusters. Well, starts haven't been their problem. Finishing's been their problem, right? They've been up 2-0, 2-0, 1-0, 1-0. They've scored first in every game, so that hasn't been a problem for them. But holding the lead has been the bigger issue, and we'll see if they can get better in that regard. If they don't, it'll be a good night, Irene, and then there'll be an interesting offseason. I know a lot of people have asked, like, what do you think is going to happen in the offseason? We'll talk about the offseason when the offseason is officially here. Honestly, there's no, I don't know. I don't like to get ahead of myself. We'll see what happens. Can the Oilers win 3 in a row? It's possible. They've done it in 3 of their last 5 series. 3 in a row against Florida, 4 in a row against LA, 4 in a row against Dallas. So can it happen? Yes. Doesn't mean it will, but they got to start with one game tomorrow night at home. I know the fans going to the game, fans in Edmonton. You get to that game and you're like, well, I'm here. I might as well cheer my you-know-what off. So I expect it to be very loud. And, no one wants to see their last game lose at home. So we'll see how the Oilers fare tomorrow night against the Anaheim Ducks. You got to hope the Colton Doc, I think they could use his energy a little bit in the lineup, and we'll see where it goes. Now, let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick. For over 50 years, The Brick has been proudly serving Canada. Right now, you can save up to 40% off of mattresses and get 0% financing on 60 equal monthly payments right now at The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, guys. Question number 1, down 3-1. What aspect of the Oilers game has disappointed you the most? And on the flip side, what about the Ducks game has impressed you the most?
The Ducks, I would say, just their ability to bend but not break, and just kind of continue to make plays under pressure. And for the Edmonton Oilers, just as Gregor and I were talking about a little bit earlier, I just feel like the emotion of the game, right? Just kind of, getting, when you watch, Montreal, Tampa Bay, just the enthusiasm, the excitement, the scrums. I know you don't want to waste your time just mucking it up all the time, but just that emotional investment in the game, into the series.
Yeah. Well, to me, what's disappointing me most about the Oilers is their penalty kill. Come on, 50%. Yeah. That's brutal. So there's a few options, but I'll take the penalty kill. And what's impressed me most about the Ducks, well, Captain Obvious, but their ability to come back in games. They've been down multiple times to a team with more experience, and the Ducks have been the more experienced team. Not panicking, not taking, they're down 2-0. They're not suddenly flooding the zone and giving up 2-on-1s. They actually get better, it seems, when they're down 2-0. So that's been impressive.
Question number 2, obviously a little controversy last night with the game-winning goal. There would be a way to potentially end all that if you advance the technology. Do what we do with soccer and tennis. When or if ever do you think the NHL will look to invest in that?
Well, tennis, you can't do it because there's no goaltending pads or anything on the lines, right? So I don't see how you can use the tennis technology. Soccer, they have it in the ball, do they not?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you put it in the puck, it's totally different. To me, the easiest, now, first of all, was there really a controversy? Was it a goal? Yes or no? I think we'd all agree.
It was a goal.
Common sense. It was a goal.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was much. I'm not going to Matt Duchene this, but if you wanted something simple that doesn't change anything, I like Merrick's idea of you could put another line in the net so you see the distance so you can know exactly where the puck is. Okay, so if the puck is fully across the line, then the other part of the puck would touch here. Right? So if the other puck is touching that line inside the net, well, now you know it's across the line.
Yeah.
Now, it's not 100% foolproof because what if the puck is up on edge? Right? Well, then you're not going to see it, and the puck could be across the line but standing on edge.
Yeah.
So it's not 100% perfect, but that's a way to solve it without going crazy and having long reviews. It'd be very simple. Oh, puck's touching the line. We know the puck's it's perfectly round, so it's not like, well, it's at an angle. No, it doesn't matter. Right? So that would be a very simple thing that's not going to change anything. It's just inside the net. Simple.
Could there be something in the post? That there's enough things going on in the net now. They got all the cameras.
Yeah,
and
I
things
just
at
wonder
the back,
if it's in the
right?
post, it's going to get hit all the time and get broke.
You think
from
so?
Shots.
No, but inside it would be inside the post, right? So
yeah, but it's still got to be looking out. So if the puck's going to, you're going to have a barrier on the glass of it or something.
it would be small enough that
maybe.
I don't know. I think that maybe is something I would look at.
Way more expensive.
Something
way more expensive than painting a line.
Well, I mean, think about the money. If the Edmonton Oilers lose because of that, all the money that.
But we just agreed. We all knew the puck was over the goal.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it was that controversial really at the end of the day. Some people didn't like that the refs on the ice called it a goal, but I know we see still shots of where the ref was in the goal line, but maybe where he's on the goal line, he looks and sees the puck. He's been a ref for 20 years. He looks and says, well, clearly it's across the line.
Well, that is the problem. How do you call the goal from where he was?
Yeah.
It was a goal.
Yes.
The problem was he called it from where he was or didn't call it, and then they kind of got together. So that I think that's where the confusion is.
If they call that no goal on the ice, automatically no goal after review too, then?
No, I think if you watch the review, because Dave Jackson had an expert in the review, they do say common sense is supposed to be used. And so when you watch that, the minute you saw it where the puck is, I'm like, well, that's across the line.
Yeah.
Even though I can't see the top part of the puck in this instance, we all agree 100% it was across the line, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it should have been a goal.
Yeah.
So regardless of whether it's called a goal or not on the ice, what the video replay showed me was that was a goal.
Question number 3 for you guys. We've seen some great hockey, some great series. 2 teams advanced already. What is a potential second round series you think you'd like to see the most?
Go ahead, Gregor.
Geez. Well, I think Buffalo's going to win. So Buffalo, Tampa, Buffalo, Montreal, intriguing. But I'll say Minnesota, Colorado. That's the series I've wanted to see.
I was going to say the same thing. I mean, not that it's Minnesota, but just, Minnesota, Dallas, Minnesota, Edmonton. Colorado. I mean, I love watching Nathan McKinnon. I love watching Cale Makar. So I think anytime you could a matchup with Bouchard and McDavid would be pretty special.
Question number 4 for you guys. Was there a team over the weekend in the NFL draft that stood out the most?
I didn't watch the draft, but just hearing little bits about it, it seems like the Dallas Cowboys kind of hit it out of the park.
Yeah. Can I be honest? I think grading drafts is the worst. Like, usually the writer who grades the draft grades it on how he views the players, right? Hey, you know what? Like, especially in hockey. Hockey's no offense. Like, NFL at least is like, most of these guys are playing in the league next year. The NHL grading of drafts is the big, I will never go, and no offense to all the guys who are analysts, they do a ton of work on it. Did their opinion change in 24 hours because Bob got picked in the 3rd round, but he was a 5th rounder? No. Right? It hasn't changed on the guy. So, and if they really like a guy and all of a sudden he went higher or went where you are, well, I really like that pick. I don't know. But I look at the NFL. I guess the Browns, just because of, who they drafted positions, probably pretty good. As far as I know the Cowboys, that was a good one. Right. But I guess probably go the Browns and really the Raiders. Like, the Raiders got the number 1 pick. They got the best quarterback. Doesn't mean he's going to help. Now, if they're smart, he would learn under Cousins. So I always look at drafts and say, okay, they might have drafted all the best players, Brownie, but if they don't develop them properly, it's kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
it's,
developing
there's
quarterbacks.
Yeah,
for
there-
sure.
I mean, there's no guarantee. Even if you have the proper development model, does that guarantee that you're going to be an elite quarterback or NHL hockey player? Like, it's still on the player.
Yes, it's true. Cons, what about you? Who'd you like?
I like the Raiders. I liked taking Jermod McCoy in the 4th round. Like, that guy's got all the talent. The injury is the biggest concern, but I'm with you. I like the Cleveland Browns. And you have all those 1st-round picks. Obviously, you're gonna get some good names, some good players there. But getting 2 very good receivers, the safety they got later on is solid, and bolstering the offensive line. And like you said, Gregor, we don't know right now. I remember the Detroit Lions 2023 class getting a C+ with Jahmyr Gibbs, Jack Campbell, Sam Laporta, and Brian Branch with their first 4 picks. Like, you go back, and that's an A+ draft today. Final question for you guys. National Gummy Bear Day. In honor of that, give me your top 3 candies of all time.
I'm not a candy guy, but my wife is, and I'll go with. I love the gummy clusters. You ever had the gummy?
I don't think so.
Clusters. They're kind of like
Gummy clusters?
Yeah, they kind of got like nerds kind of on them, clumped up on them. They are those. You might be only able to get those in the States.
I'm looking online right now. No,
You can get them in the States.
Like the
You
nerds.
can get them here.
They're the nerds gummy clusters. It's like a juju with nerds stuck on it.
They're so good.
Okay.
And I'm not even a candy guy. There was a point in time, I think, because you know how it is when you go to the States, they seem to have more options that you don't necessarily have here. But anyway, I'll go with the nerds gummy clusters. Peanut butter M&Ms are unbelievable. And just the plain old Jolly Rancher.
Jolly Rancher. Okay. Best candies. So does candy include a chocolate bar, Cons?
I'm gonna allow it. I'm gonna allow it if you want.
Oh, well, then I probably would have went with like Reese's Pieces.
Well, you went with M&Ms.
Yeah, but just
That's a
true
chocolate
enough,
bar.
True enough.
There you go. Well, obviously Big Turk. Let's figure it out right from the start. Start with the best.
They didn't know they made
After
them.
that, I'm gonna go with dinosaurs. Love those. And I would probably, very simple. You know what? I just like chocolate covered raisins.
Oh, gross.
Oh, love them.
Really?
Yeah.
I grew up and raisins were like the sweet.
Yeah, in the little box.
I hated like because my brothers were diabetics, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
my parent, I wasn't allowed to have any sweets, and so
Oh.
after dinner, that was the thing. Was like, we'll have a box of raisins. I'm like raisins, eight raisins.
Oh, that is so
What a disappointment. That was.
You know what? I might actually change. I might go to jelly beans. I don't eat them very often, but when I have a good bowl of jelly beans, God, it's good. I just crush them. So yeah, Cons, what about you?
Yeah, I'll go away from chocolate for this one. Sour Soothers would be my number 1. Number 2, the pink and blue bottles. Almost any bottle is good, but the pink and blue ones are the best. And then I was gonna have jelly beans as well, just like the rainbow of colors. I don't need like the Jelly Belly, but just the classic jelly bean.
Yeah, like not those new flavored
No,
ones.
just
Yeah,
the
I
original.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, the classic jelly bean is better. Like, and it's basically like a cube
Yeah.
of sugar, is what it looks like, right? Like,
100%.
you know, it looks like just basically just say here, you know what? Take a teaspoon of sugar. That's what you're eating.
What about the big? Remember what were they called? Big feet. They were like red.
Oh,
If you
yeah,
want to
yeah,
bring
yeah.
up the Big Turk? I
Yeah,
could bring
yeah.
up Big Feet.
Yeah, I remember that. We used to go into the store, and a lot of them and now they have them like in containers, like, you know, bulk barn.
Yeah.
But you used to have a plate, you know, you get your little bag and you
Remember,
put
you could go in
5
there and
cents.
grab them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and that was always gross because, you know, some people would never use
Like
the
the
tongs.
one set candies.
Right? Yeah. And you had like the little those little sours.
Yeah.
Right?
All those little drops. Yeah.
And man, when you're a kid, like that
Yeah.
used to get like 50 cents. It would go a long
Yeah.
ways, man. I'm dating myself here big time, but I'm telling you, like, I know nowadays you can get like one candy for 50 cents,
Yeah.
but back in the day, man, you could get a lot.
I remember this lady when I'd go visit my grandpa down in North Buxton, down by Chatham, and she would let us go in behind, right? And you'd have 50 cents or whatever. That was a lot of candy for 1
Yes.
cent, and they'd give you that
1
little
cent
brown bag.
candy,
And like
yeah.
you said, you just forgot about those days.
Oh, yeah, the little brown paper bag.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you mix and match. I do like a good sour. Like, it looks like it's almost like the key thing. It's like the circle and then
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
straight in
yeah,
the middle.
yeah.
Like, oof.
Yeah.
Those ones are pretty good. I will say right now, have you guys had Smart Sweets?
No.
Oh yeah, they're like, you should try Smart Sweets brownie because they're like, the ingredients is way better for you. It satiates you if you have a desire. I'm not going to eat sweets anymore very often in my life. Right? It's just like, I should of course I'll have a Big Turk once a year, but not like I used to. But
I don't know, where do you even get a Big Turk?
what do you mean? Where
The
can you get
Circle
a Big
K?
Turk?
Do they sell?
Of course.
Oh, really?
Why wouldn't
Wow.
you sell the greatest chocolate bar? Figure it out.
What about
Where can you get an Oilers jersey? At the store. Where do you get a Big Turk? At the groceries, at any convenience store.
You know what's underrated is the coconut chocolate
Bounty?
bar. Yeah. Love that.
Remember Pep? Do you remember the Pep? It was a circle. It came in a green container, and it was just like it was basically like a flat circle, and then it had the white cream inside as peppermint. Oh,
No.
dude, yeah, I remember because that was my mom's favorite chocolate bar, and so I remember trying to I got to try this, and I was like, oh my god! But Pep, I'm pretty sure it's done now. Pep was unreal, and a very underrated chocolate bar, Mirage. Just straight
the Mirage.
the Mirage.
Yeah,
It's like a
yeah.
thicker arrow.
Yeah.
Right? And think about it.
Yeah.
Mirage is great.
Yeah.
Because I remember as a kid, you take the Mirage, and because you have to watch my brother at the hockey rink, and so you're bored out of your skull sometimes. So I used to take a Mirage and get a hot chocolate, and then I dip the Mirage in the hot chocolate and then just suck on it. God, so good. I might have to get one of those just for fun now. Yeah, I have, but I still see. I actually bought the Mirage at Halloween.
Yeah.
And I always track which bars go first. Kids are loving the Mirage bar.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And the Big Turks. Big Turks for the kids. Woo. Probably because they don't see it very often. They're just like, oh my God, it's really good.
The Big Turk's kind of like a licorice in the middle.
Yeah,
right?
it's like gummy. Yeah, it's like gummy and chocolate. It's unreal.
Yeah.
It's the greatest combination.
Hey, good job at the Alzheimer's event. Anyway, he did
on Friday
for the luncheon was good.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, it was. What a good turn. The tournament has kicked up a notch.
Now, is it true? Did you run Sean? Did you run Belsey? Is this I got reports?
I don't know if I ran into him or
did you knock him out of the tournament with a cheap shot?
There were that could have happened. But it wasn't by any you know what, Belsey's a big man, right? And when Belsey gets going, especially in this tournament, I don't know, he had another level. I think he was looking for a contract or something. He was busting wide. I think we were up a goal, and he wanted to score. And
so he tried to beat you wide.
He tried to beat me wide, and I kind of had him, and he cut to the middle, and I was forced to stop. And he's a big. I could feel him coming into me, and that wasn't a good feeling. And so I didn't see him Sunday. My back was bothering me too, but I was like, man, I got to grind this out here. But it was, you know what, really well run tournament. But I was surprised at the quality of the hockey.
Yeah.
Like it was
good.
Some
younger teams.
But like we had like 4 or 5 really good hockey players along with the others, but so did everyone else. Like it was entertaining.
How was the draft on Friday night?
It was good. Yeah, no, it was, they
were watching the game, right?
Yeah. So everyone's, they kind of bang it out really quick, obviously, because everyone wants to watch the game and stuff like that. They had a great band and stuff like that, food, atmosphere.
Did you go out on Friday or Saturday night?
I went out Saturday.
Saturday night.
Yeah,
Where did you go?
I just went to Cactus Club.
Okay.
I think they wind up going to maybe where's on the Rocks.
Oh yeah.
There was talk that they were going to go on the Rocks, but I did not want to be waking up, licking my wounds and stuff like that. But I had a great group of guys. They were really fun to play with, and they were good.
Did you score any goals?
I got one. And we had
any apples?
No, I was just steady, just moving the puck. Cardio.
Who else did you play? So you played against Belsey. Who else?
What were they? They were Silent Ice. We played against Damon Lankow. I don't know what their team was, but it was like every one of Damon Lankow's like cousins and
buddies.
Uncles. And
okay.
They were good. They had a couple of guys that I think were fresh out of hockey. You could tell like their cardio and stuff. They had us hemmed in there a few times. I think one of the worst positions I think you could play along with being a defenseman is a goalie.
Oh, and we
left
of
them
course.
out to dry.
Yes,
and
goalies.
thank God we had a good goalie. He was super.
Your goalie has to have an attitude of like, I'm going to get shelled, and that's just okay.
Yeah, it's like second, third, fourth chances.
Yes. There's lots of odd man rush chances.
Yeah. So I played against Strutty, beat Strutty. So
did you give him a flash or anything?
No, I asked him if he was interested, which was enough to kind of throw him off his game.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the secret sauce.
So he said
I
no.
got it in his head.
Rattled.
I got it in his head a little bit.
We asked about that one.
Yeah, he came out. I'm like, Strutty, you looking? And it just threw him right off. Yeah.
I love it. Brownie, we'll talk to you. Do the Oilers stretch it to Game 6?
I think they got to. Connor McDavid's going to have a game. I think Christian Jarry is going to have a game. The place is going to be electric. It's going to be exciting. I'm going to the game, so I'm pumped.
All right. Okay, buddy. We'll see you there.
Awesome.
It's Sean Brown. Let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Hire Good. For professional property services you can feel good about, get Hire Good. Site cleanup, debris removal, season maintenance, and more. Check out hiregood.ca. Hire Good. Stable jobs create stable lives.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
2 games tonight in the Stanley Cup playoffs as the Penguins looking to stay alive, trailing the Flyers 3-1. Puck drop an hour away. And then at 7:30 at the Mammoth, taking on the Golden Knights from Salt Lake City. In the association, a couple teams facing elimination. Nuggets trying to stay alive against the Timberwolves, while the Suns look to do the same as they host the Thunder just after 7:30. At 6 o'clock, you got the Magic and Pistons meeting in Orlando. Orlando currently leading that series 2-1. Major League Baseball, Toronto Blue Jays up against the Red Sox out in the 6th. That one gets going just after 5 o'clock. We'll join that game in progress on the AM dial immediately following the Jason Gregor Show. Elsewhere, Guardians host the Rays, Cards taking on the Pirates, White Sox, Angels, Mariners in Minnesota, Rangers host the Yankees, Cubs in San Diego, and the Dodgers host the Marlins. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll get to the stats of the day and also hear from Mike Folta, the voice of the Utah Mammoth. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440. Stingray Radio Station. CKJR. Broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquacentral reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
50-50-50. Right now at Papa John's, you order carry out, you get 50% off the pizza. Loaded with the toppings you love. You want pepperoni? You got it. You want the works? Done. Always made with our fresh, never frozen dough. Half the price for the pizza you already love. When you come grab it, just use promo code CO50. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. 50% off regular menu price pizzas. Carry out only. Use promo code CO50. Participating locations, restrictions may apply.
For over 50 years, the Brick has been proudly serving Canada. They love to save you more on everything you need for your home. Save up to 60% off made in Canada sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. Find patio sets starting at just $99 and save up to 40% off mattresses. Plus, take 5 years to pay with 0% interest on furniture and mattresses. Taxes and fees due at purchase, OAC. Visit a Brick near you for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
It's playoff time on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. This is Andrew Walker. Join us for the Titan Supply pregame show before each Edmonton playoff game. Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All Star Construction. And directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All Star Construction is all about.
Good to go. With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. MortgagesToGo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly, guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say, I'm good to go.
Think a quality golf cart is out of your budget? Think again. At the Golf Cart People, we have a fantastic selection of fully inspected, pre-owned carts starting at just $4,500. Choose from gas, electric, or lithium-ion power to fit your lifestyle. And the best part, every used cart comes with a 1-year warranty for total peace of mind. Why wait? Get the cart you've always wanted today. Visit the Golf Cart People. Find out more at golfcartpeople.com.
Hey, it's Jamie from Green Drop Lawn Care. From the big mall in the west to the Arena District downtown, Edmonton is beautiful. But when I see your lawns, I know one thing's for certain. Weeds are coming. Be proactive and take advantage of our early bird savings until April 30th.
Green Drop has been Canada's lawn expert since 1979. And they're in your community, keeping your yard looking beautiful with affordable lawn care packages that include fertilizer, weed control, drought fighter, and more. Visit greendrop.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio, from weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer, to grandparents in the garden, rotator cuff tears and tendonitis to post-surgical knees and hips. We fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
We roll through Monday afternoon. NHL playoffs continuing on. Of course, get in on the action. PlayAlberta.ca tonight. Flyers on the road. Fairly big underdog, even though they're up 3-1 in that series. Utah at home. The underdog. Now, they got outshot 32-12 in game 3, but won 4-2. They scored 4 goals in their first 8 shots of the game. So we'll see. Vegas, they talked about, hey, we're not going to change much. We liked our game. Just didn't get the result, and we'll see where it goes. The Edmonton Oilers, meanwhile, back at home tomorrow night, taking on the Anaheim Ducks. They are now entering must-win territory for the Oilers. And this team has been much better in the latter half of series. Like last night was their first Game 4 loss in their last 11 Game 4s. They won both in 23, all 4 in 24, all 4 in 25. Lost last night. Game 5s, they've been very good overall. Game 7s are 1-1 the last few years. So in the last 3 years, I'm just going now. I guess if you went back even farther, you'd say 4. But I'm just going through the last few years, and we'll see where the Oilers go if they get to Game 7. You got to win Game 5 first. Obviously, starting hasn't been the problem. They've scored first in all 4 games. Holding a lead, major problem. Second periods, dreadful. Penalty kill, horrific. They got to be better. Start, maybe take fewer penalties. Right? Play the game 5-on-5. Because look at, Anaheim, hey, their second periods, they've come out fighting. It started in Game 1. They scored, 19 seconds in? Third. In Edmonton, when you have a chance to clear the puck, get it out. Right? Even look at the overtime goal. Trent Frederick, you had a chance, get the puck out. Right? Try to stick down from backhand to forehand, lost it, they kept it in. Now, it was a good defensive play from on the backtrack by the Ducks there. But you got to look, man. It's the old adage, 2 feet from the blue line. I call it the kill zone. If you don't get it out, they can kill you. And it happened. Wasn't a pretty goal, but if you just chip that one out, live to fight another day, who knows what happens after that. And we'll see if the Oilers can rebound. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We are going to get to the stats of the day, and I got a few doozies for you. Stats of the day brought to you by All-Star Construction, specializing in underground utilities, power, gas, telecommunication, and street lighting. They shape and build Edmonton communities. That is All-Star Construction. So, Edmonton Oilers, must-win situation. In franchise history, they are 2-7 when they trail 3-1, which is better than most if you look at the history of the league. There's not a lot of teams who come back from 3-1, but it's rare. It's definitely difficult to do. So, looking at a few things for the Oilers, got to win Game 5 against the Ducks. They leads 4-0 for the Oilers, scoring first. They've only won 1 game. The rest of the NHL is 19-8 when scoring first. And the Oilers are 1-3. Softball. Penalty kill, 50%. Remember when the LA Kings penalty kill was this bad and they couldn't stop the Oilers on the power play? Remember that year? What was that, 2024? Oiler fans have been on the other side of it. You know it. And like every time Anaheim goes on the power play now, you feel like they're going to score. They got a boatload of confidence. How they're moving the puck around. So if I'm Chris Knobblock, you can't just try. Now, you can say take fewer penalties. Okay, great. But that doesn't solve the problem. You know you're going to start Murphy and Nurse. They've only been on the ice for one power play goal against. Echo and Bouchard have been on for 4. And they're not starting all the time. So I would have to look at, is it time for Ty Emberson? Honestly, couldn't it be worse than what it is? I understand that you're like, hey, this is what got us here, and Bouchard killed the most penalty minutes in the regular season. Fine. Why not? But so what? It's not working right now. And if I take him off the penalty kill, I can still play him a ton on the power play in 5-on-5. So I don't see it being the end of the world. Right? Obviously, having Dickinson back helps. It sure be nice if Adam Henrique would come, but he's not coming for tomorrow night, that's for sure. So they got to be there. What about the second periods? The Edmonton Oilers in the regular season were tied with Tampa and Dallas for most goals scored in the second period. They had 100. Now, they gave up 89, which was 12th most. And their plus 11 goal differential was ranked 20th. So I know a lot of people talk, but they were great in the second. No, they weren't. They weren't great in the second period. They're great at scoring, but they gave up 89 goals in 82 periods. But now they've given up 9 and 4. So they're even way worse than they were in the regular season. So adjust to the long change. And Chris Knobblock, adjust how your team plays in the second period. Yes, it would help if you didn't take penalties. But maybe consider eliminating the stretch pass as often as you're using it. And I don't love this flip pass by the Oilers. Like, how many times is Jackson Lacombe? The puck bounces, Jackson Lacombe just knocks it down on him in air, boom, reverses it. It's basically, all it is a giveaway that's in the neutral zone. We have possession. We're not even being that heavily forechecked, but because we don't have anybody back to support us, I got to flip the puck out. It's terrible. I don't like it. So adjust. It's very easy to change for NHL players. Say, okay, guys, now wingers come deeper. We're going to try to break out as a unit. This isn't hard. Are you telling me forwards like, well, coach, I don't really understand. What are we supposed to do here? No, they're NHL players. You show them 1 10-minute video session, probably a 3-minute video session. Hell, 30 seconds, they'd figure it out. They know how to come back deep. It's not hard. But the second periods, penalty kill, are absolutely crushing them. It is not, it's not good. So, if you're looking for positive Oilers fans, they need to win 3 games in a row. In 3 of their last 5 series, they've done that. They beat Florida 3 in a row in 2024. I know they lost the 4th one, but that's irrelevant. They don't need to win 4. They need to win 3. They were down 2-0 to LA, won 4 in a row last year. They were down 1-0 to Dallas, won 4 in a row last year. So they can do it. They can get on a run if they want. Now, Anaheim, it's different. It's not last year. It's not even 2024. Your core guys are there. There might be some injuries, sure. Everybody's got some injuries. Some more than others, but that's irrelevant. You don't get sympathy cards because you're banged up. Got to play. That's what makes winning so difficult. If it was easy, then no one would get hurt. You could all play healthy, and that would be great, but that's not reality. Kasperi Kapanen having himself an outstanding series. So him and Brandon Hagel are tied in the league lead with 5-on-5 goals, each with 4, and they're tied with Draisaitl, Taylor Hall, and Bowen Byram for points. 5-on-5. Kapanen has yet to be on the ice for a goal against 5-on-5. When he's on, the Oilers have outscored opponents 6-0. And just to look at it, when he plays with Draisaitl and Podkolzin, which has been the majority of the time, 5-on-5, 44 minutes, They're 5-0. Podkolzin and Draisaitl in 7 minutes away from Kapanen, they've been outscored 3-1. That guy is going right now. Play him more, for God's sakes. Find a way to get him ice time. I don't care. He's dominating. Without him on the ice, the Oilers have been outscored 11-6. When he's on, 6-0. Pretty good. Speaking of good, Oilers fans aren't going to like to hear it, but Jackson Lacombe has been really good. He leads NHL scorers with 8 points. He's played 26-42 per game. When he's on the ice, the Ducks have outshot Edmonton 55-30 and outscored them 7-4. When he's off, Edmonton has outshot Anaheim 71-46 and outscored them 8-4. Now, keep in mind, majority of Lacombe's minutes have come against Connor McDavid. His line. So it's not like, oh, yeah, the Oilers, McDavid's thrashing. No. It's the rest of the Oilers are beating up the rest of the Ducks. And that's why, if I'm Chris Knobblock, I'm looking now. He's going to go 2 ways. He's going to look and say, hey, I believe that my line can break even against them. I believe it. Okay. I could see it. But just to note, in the 20 minutes that the Kapanen, Podkolzin, Draisaitl line have played against Lacombe, they've outscored him 3-0. So you have last change tomorrow night, excuse me. Why wouldn't you at least consider Draisaitl's line against Jackson line? You look out, you know how they're rotating? Because now Anaheim's been basically 50-50, although it's in Anaheim it's a little bit more. But on the road, it was pretty close to 50-50 split between Lacombe line and McDavid with Minchikov and Karlsson. Now, Draisaitl, he got 6 minutes against the third pair. So maybe that's a match to be able to say, hey, that's our number one scoring line. We'll keep doing that. So I could argue that would make sense. But you're in game 5. You need a win. You have home ice for a reason. If there's certain matchups that you want, then go get them. And maybe it forces Anaheim to switch some things up, and maybe it gets them out of the rhythm. But just going line. We're not going to match. Why would you do that? Now, I know that 5-on-5 Edmonton's outscored them 12-11, but they haven't outshot them. Shots are identical, right? So it's not like they're dominating at that. And it's really the Draisaitl line that's keeping everything else afloat. Because when they're off, the rest of the guys are getting murdered. So you need more guys going. But if you're the head coach tomorrow night, look for the matchups that can benefit you. That's why you have home ice advantage. To just say, well, we don't really need to do it. I'm like, why? It hasn't worked. You're down 3-1. It hasn't worked. You need a win. Pull out all the stops. And for the love of everything, do not go to Draisaitl and McDavid early in the game. Please do not do it. Draisaitl, Kapanen, Podkolzin has been your best line. They've got more than enough goals 5-on-5. Right now, they're their best chance to score 5-on-5. I don't care what Draisaitl and McDavid did in the past. It's not the past. It's not the present. The present is that line's their best line. Keep that line together. If you got to mix and match Roslovic and Hyman and Savoy, Nugent Hopkins, knock your socks off. Try every different combination you want. I don't care. But don't mess up the one line that's going, which is Draisaitl, Podkolzin, and Cap. Because even Draisaitl's numbers away from Kapanen drop significantly. So keep that trio going. It's the one thing that's been working for you for sure every game. Every game, it's working well. We'll come back. That's your stats of the day brought to you by All-Star Construction. Mike Folta joins us on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks.
ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
50-50-50. Right now at Papa John's, you order carry out, you get 50% off the pizza, loaded with the toppings you love. You want pepperoni? You got it. You want the works? Done. Always made with our fresh, never frozen dough. Half the price for the pizza you already love. When you come grab it, just use promo code CO50. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. 50% off regular menu price pizzas. Carry out only. Use promo code CO50. Participating locations, restrictions may apply.
Welcome to Silent Ice Center, the region's newest hockey and event center in Nisku. Featuring 2 NHL-size ice surfaces, premium seating, private suites, and an electric atmosphere. From elite hockey to major tournaments, concerts, and special events, this is where the action lives. And with Summit Restaurant overlooking the rink, every event is a full experience. Silent Ice Center, built for champions, built for the community. Book your ice, your event, or your next big night at Silent Ice Center. Email booking@silenticecenter.com.
Hold on to your hockey helmets, Edmonton. On the Rocks is serving up 69-cent wings that fly off the plate faster than a slap shot. And Molson Canadian and Coors Light for $5.75. Plus, OTR's TVs are so clear, you'll see the puck better than the ref. That ain't hard, is it? Score and win every game night during Edmonton's playoff run with specials starting 30 minutes before puck drop and last for the whole game. Be a part of the legend. See the menu at ontherocksYEG.com.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Hey, hon, I'm getting expressions and images to frame my hockey card collection in the man cave.
Perfect. I'll come with you and bring our wedding photos.
For sports memorabilia and family treasures, think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
Ready to upgrade your ride this spring? Come on down to the Golf Cart People. They're a family-owned and operated business that's been serving the community since '97. Whether you're looking for a brand new or quality pre-owned cart, a rental for a special event, they do that too. The Golf Cart People have a huge selection of parts and accessories, and their expert service team is here to keep you rolling. The Golf Cart People, your one-stop shop for everything golf cart. Visit golfcartpeople.com.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
Portions of this hour brought to you by UL, helping you finish your electrical project is their goal. From pot lights to electrical panels, the gear you need is at ul.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. ul.ca, your partners in power.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
.4:30, we continue on Monday afternoon, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Oiler fans, I know you're a little bit upset, but this is the great part of playoffs. It's a roller coaster. It's up and down. You're just, oh my God, I feel like I'm going to throw up. Then the next time you're like, this is awesome. That's what the playoffs are all about. You know what? And you've lived through it the last few years. But you know what? You kind of forget. We got people texting, oh, they got no chance to come back. It could be right, but no chance? Well, that's actually completely false. They do have a chance. How good of a chance remains to be seen. But to say they have no chance is 100% inaccurate. Now, will they be able to do it? I don't know. If their penalty kill doesn't improve and their second period doesn't improve, no, they won't. No debate on that. But could they turn it around? It's possible. It's very possible. They were getting clobbered by Florida, and then they won 3 straight, and then lost Game 7 by 1 goal. They don't have to win 4 straight. They just got to win 3 straight. And no offense to the Ducks, they're not as good as Florida. So we'll see what happens. It'll start with 1 game, get a win, then maybe you got some confidence, and maybe now the pressure would be on Anaheim for really the first time in the series because they don't want to go back to Edmonton for Game 7. And it's why it's a roller coaster of emotion. A lot of the times you learn as experienced teams how to handle that a little bit better. And we'll go in the room now, brought to you by Action Electrical. 53 years. They have grown into becoming the most versatile electrical contractor in Alberta in 4 divisions with projects, service, testing, and solar. Find out everything they offer. Check it out, actionelectrical.net. And Blake said, we know him and everybody at Action believe the Oilers will make the miracle comeback. See what happens. Wasn't a miracle, but it's not something you see very often. 4 goals on their first 8 shots. The Utah Mammoth ended up with only 12 shots in the game. They got outshot 32-12, but they won. And that's the great part of playoff hockey. You don't get, if you keep playing like this, you're going to lose. No, every game's new. And Utah will probably be like, hey, they might have got away with one, but we got away with one. And now they're halfway to their first series win as Mike Folta joins us from Utah. Mike, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Jason, glad to be back on. Thanks for having me. And hey, our theme for Game 4 here is take the money and run. You scored 4 goals on as you mentioned, the first 8 shots, 12 total shots in the game. That's the fewest shots the Vegas Golden Knights have ever allowed in their 9-year NHL history. And the Mammoth were very opportunistic in the game the other day at the Delta Center. Unbelievable crowd. We expect another great crowd tonight, but the Mammoth weren't able to fully establish their pace in Game 3. And as part of the Mammoth broadcast, we're hoping that they can start to get skating the way they were in Game 2 against the Golden Knights.
Yeah, because Utah was like 3rd fastest team in the regular season behind Edmonton and Colorado. They got a lot of guys that can really go. And, Logan Cooley's speed's right up there amongst the fastest in the league. And, he was giving Vegas, that line was giving Vegas all sorts of trouble in the first few games. Did you see Vegas do anything different to counter that line in Game 2?
Yeah, it's tough to say X's and O's wise. They haven't made a ton of tactical adjustments under Tortorella in the series so far. We have heard that they're going to put their lines in a blender for Game 4, including their power play. They've got that 5-forward power play, or they had that until now. We think Shea Theodore is going to be back on that top line. But I think where Utah struggled a bit in Game 3 was in the neutral zone and using Vegas's aggressiveness against them. We saw in Game 2, the Mammoth were able to kind of pull out that forecheck of the Golden Knights and then attack up the ice with guys like Gunther and Cooley and Yamamoto, former Oiler, by the way. And we didn't see as much of that in Game 3. The neutral zone was really clogged up. And anytime the Mammoth were able to dump the puck in, they weren't able to go back and get it because they didn't have any speed on the forecheck. So hopefully the neutral zone is a little bit more of a racetrack here in Game 4 because that's going to play to Utah's style.
So you mentioned the line juggling of Vegas. Have you got an idea of who they're gonna move around?
We've been told, at least by the Vegas scribes that were at practice, that they're going to move Stone to the wing of Marner, and then Dorofeev is going to be up with Eichel. Those are kind of 2 of the big switches. Dorofeev has been really quiet in this series so far for the Golden Knights. I think he's got 8 shots on goal through 3 games. Okay, not terrible, but you're looking at a guy in Pavel Dorofeev who has 1 career playoff goal in 12 career playoff games. He led the Golden Knights in goal scoring during the regular season, and I haven't called his name that much on the radio. I think the Utah Mammoth deserve a lot of credit for that, especially their work on the penalty kill. They were 4 for 4 in Game 3, and the puck's never even seen in gold on the PK. So give credit to John Madden, the coach who runs the penalty kill and the Mammoth on that. But it sounds like John Tortorella wants to get Dorofeev going a little bit more in this series, putting him with Eichel.
Well, I think he wants, because really the Stone Eichel Barbashev line, that line's been going. Then they got Nick Dowd and Colton Sissons. That line's going, but their second and third lines have really done nothing. Hurdle, Kolazar, and Howden, no goals. Smith, Marner, and Dorofeev, no goals. So obviously they're looking for a little bit more balance there. Like, what have you made of Thomas Hurdle's performance for Vegas so far?
Yeah, there's been a lot of lamenting, I think, amongst Golden Knights fans of his struggles. He hasn't scored a goal since March, I think 4th, early March. Like, it's been 23 games now back to the regular season where he hasn't scored a goal. But if you look at the analytics, his line, I believe it was Riley Smith and Kolesar on his wings the first 3 games. They had controlled play, even though they hadn't scored. They had like a, 90% expected goal rate. Now, you can do what you will with expected goals, but they had been winning that matchup against Utah's third line and against some of the top 2 lines when they were out there. So even though they haven't been scoring, I think they've been pretty effective in a checking role for Torts.
I was looking at the ice time for Utah's guys, and up front, Logan Cooley obviously playing the most, and then Schmaltz, like the regular guys that you would expect. Yamamoto's been producing a lot in his 13 minutes of ice time. Do they need to now? What's up with Jack McBain?
Yeah, well, he's been banged up, and he's been out the last couple of weeks of the regular season. He was a surprise entry to game 1. Like he took warmups, but that's a bit generous because he was just basically doing the old red line relay during warmups, going back and forth, like wasn't even taking rushes. We didn't even see him at morning skate, and he was a last second addition to the lineup, but looked like a shell of himself in game 1. So they've taken him out. He's definitely not 100%. And we're also still waiting on Barrett Hayton. That's 2 really versatile pieces for the Mammoth that are out of the lineup, and 2 centermen too. Yeah. So the Mammoth are playing with 4 centermen, which you think, okay, 4 lines, that's fine. But really, in the playoffs against a team that's as deep down the middle as Vegas is, it helps to have more than 4 guys who can take draws and play that responsible 2-way game like McBain and Hayton can. So hoping to get McBain back in this series. Unsure of his status. We still haven't seen him at practice, but he's the type of guy who's built for the playoffs, how physical he is, and how good he's been this year on both sides of the puck.
Mike Folta joins us, voice of the Utah Mammoth. Now, on the Utah side, we mentioned that that one line obviously was going great for them, and the Keller Schmaltz line consists. How's JJ Peterka played so far in the playoffs?
Yeah, so he's been on that third line with Kerfoot and Carcone so far for Utah. It's not your grandmother's third line. Like, this is a third line that could score, right? It's not a third line that has probably any Selke candidates on it. Alexander Kerfoot is definitely the most defensive minded of that threesome. He's the Swiss Army knife of that group and does a lot of the dirty work. I think Peterka's been finding his game a little bit through these first 3. The thing with JJ, as we've seen all year here in Utah, is that you have to stay glued to him when he's on the ice, because you may not call his name or you may not notice him at times, but with his shot and his skill, he doesn't need much. And there have been games where I haven't called his name all that much until he scores 2 goals. And it's like, well, it turns out he was pretty important tonight. JJ Peterka is really good at the hardest thing to do in the NHL, and that is score goals. And he hasn't done it yet, but he's the type of guy where if you give him an inch, he'll take a mile. Still waiting for that line to kind of find their footing in this series. And I think when the Mammoth are playing at the pace they want to play, that third line is a big part of that.
Vejmelka, I think it's safe to say in game 3 kind of stolen that game, no question about it. Like, they had the big lead early, but he was peppered. And now in today's NHL, when you have 3 consecutive games with a plus 900 save percentage, obviously you're doing something right. He's only allowed 7 goals in the series. He's being key for them. He was the only goalie in the NHL who started 60 plus games this year. They obviously rely on him heavily. Mike, it seems like he's just kind of picked up where he's left off, or has even elevated his play in your eyes in the postseason.
I would say he's been really steady. After the Olympic break, he struggled a little bit. It was awkward for him. He was the third goaltender on Team Czechia, and he wasn't the morning skates over there in the Olympics are like 20 minutes long. So he wasn't seeing a lot of rubber as that third goalie. He didn't play in a single game, and it took him a little bit to kind of get back to form coming back from the Olympics. And this is probably the best 3-game stretch we've seen out of him in a while. He's played really good in 1 or 2 games since the Olympics, but 3 games in a row, he's been really solid. I don't think there's been one goal all series where you look at it and say he should have had that one. And one area where I think he's had the edge on Carter Hart has been rebound control. Carter Hart's been pretty darn good this series when he can see that first shot, but he's had a couple goals that have gone off his own teammates in this game. And you can say, oh, that's bad luck. But when you look at the plays, those rebounds are probably a little too hot for an NHL goaltender to give up. And so Vejmelka has done a better job at depositing pucks into safer areas of the ice. And you got to give credit to his defensemen as well for clearing pucks out of those dangerous areas next to the net.
Lastly, you look at this pivotal game where you mentioned the crowd. I love what the owner did with handing off the jerseys swap. The lineup looked massive. And so I don't know how long that took to get everybody their new jerseys, but that was a brilliant marketing plan. It's year 2 and you get to playoffs and everybody knows the excitement, Mike, but just, how big has this been for this organization? An organization a lot of people feel is definitely trending in the right direction.
Well, it's funny because not every build or rebuild goes according to plan, right? And ever since we all got here to Utah, we've been hearing this kind of Death Star plan from Bill Armstrong, the general manager, about, okay, year 1, we want to play in meaningful games towards the end of the year. Year 2, we want to be in playoff contention and potentially do some damage in the playoffs. And we're like, okay, yeah, that all sounds good. We'll believe it when we see it. Well, and now we're seeing it. And so it's pretty remarkable the way things have progressed according to the timeline that management has set. And then you have the buy-in from Ryan and Ashley Smith, the owners and governors of the Utah Mammoth. And you're seeing it with the jersey exchange. I mean, have you ever seen anything like that? We had 1,000 people, Jason, show up to swear fealty to the Mountain Blue. And then I'm next to some cameras at my broadcast position. They had to move the cameras during the game because they couldn't shoot the ice because people were standing up and waving rally towels and going nuts. So the Delta Center is a pretty incredible home environment. Phil Jackson, the legendary NBA coach, used to wear earplugs when they would play the Utah Jazz in this building. So we're getting a taste of that now on the hockey side, and it's been an incredible ride so far.
Well, enjoy it. It's going to be rocking tonight. Pivotal Game 4 matchup between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Utah Mammoth. Enjoy it, Mike. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Jason.
That's Mike Folta joining us from Utah, where, of course, if the Oilers are able to come back, they would win. They would play the winner of Vegas and Utah. So if you want to watch some other hockey game, the one thing I will say, another area of the Oilers game that I'd like to see increase tomorrow night, I'd like to see them be a little bit more aggressive. Let's get some physicality. Let's get some nastiness and anger. You don't need to, high stick a guy and take a clear penalty in the neutral zone. That does nothing. That's not tough. Get in the forecheck. Get in the goalie. Kevin Woodley talked about it. Get more east-west plays in the offensive zone against Dostal. That's his weakness. Oilers haven't done enough of it. And I believe it starts with too many stretch pass breakouts, not leading to extended ozone time. Because they're not together enough. So I'd like to see them break out more as a unit. Maybe bring some guys deeper in the zone and start there. Especially when you're leading. We'll come back. We got lots more playoffs to get to. Speck will be by. Tater, maybe Ed Hervey on the eve of the CF. Oh, yeah, we will have Ed Hervey. Awesome. On the eve of the CFL draft and more. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your supplier of maximum comfort, bringing you the cool AC you need. You just have to call Legacy. Call Legacy. For comfort at night when the hot air suffocates you. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. For comfort in your wallet with no payments or interest for 1 year. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. You deserve comfort. Cool off today with AC from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Nothing beats getting a deal at McDonald's. Why? Because you get a deal now.
And
See you later.
Redeem an offer from the latest mailer or on the McDonald's app and dig into instant savings. Plus, you earn points towards
Free McDonald's.
Now that's what I call
a double whammy of deals.
Why does that keep happening? Deals sent right to your door. Check your mailbox for the latest McDonald's mailer loaded with delicious value for a limited time at participating restaurants in Western Canada.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
For over 50 years, the Brick has been proudly serving Canada. They love to save you more on everything you need for your home. Save up to 60% off made-in-Canada sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. Find patio sets starting at just $99 and save up to 40% off mattresses. Plus, take 5 years to pay with 0% interest on furniture and mattresses. Taxes and fees due at purchase, OAC. Visit a Brick near you for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
Summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit prosolutionsinc.ca to schedule your service today.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3. Saving you more money, with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Why should you drive a Subaru? How about durability, style, and an excellent customer experience from the moment you step into the showroom? And how about accolades, including awards for numerous 2026 Subaru models from both AutoTrader and JD Power? But don't just take my word for it. Take a test drive and you'll see why the Subaru name is recognized and renowned for quality. To learn more, visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
Hey, this is Todd James, honorary ride captain for the Edmonton Motorcycle Ride for Dad, raising funds and awareness in the battle against prostate cancer. Join us this Saturday for our 10th annual kickoff fundraiser at Blackjack's Roadhouse in Nisku, with live music from Travolta's, playing the best 70s disco hits, silent and live auctions, 50-50 and more. All money raised goes to this June's ride in support of the Prostate Cancer Fight Foundation. That's this Saturday. Tickets just $35. Details on the Ride for Dad Edmonton Facebook page.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and you'll notice something different about our store compared to the new RV stores. Our lot is full, bursting at the seams with quality used RVs for you to see. The new RV stores? Well, their stuff is trickling in. For the most part, they're taking orders for trailers and motorhomes to be delivered at some future date.
At No Bull, you can take yours home right away. Right, Rick?
That's right, Bob. Every RV on our lot is ready to go. Bring your truck and you can take it home with you. You could be enjoying the great outdoors this weekend if you want. And because every RV on our lot is one of a kind, it's worth it to take a look around. It's not like we have 20 of the exact same model.
That's what the new RV stores look like.
Not here, Bob. Every single one is different. The perfect used RV for your family is probably on our lot already. Why not pick it up before someone else does?
And that's No Bull.
NoBullRV.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
450. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely day. We got lots and lots of text flying in. I love it. Everybody's fired up. You can always get involved. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. It's the Gregor Show, always brought to you by playalberta.ca, where tomorrow night, of course, Lotto Max, $55 million and 4 Max Millions. Get your tickets at playalberta.ca. And while you're there, check out the Jason Gregor Show odds boost specials for tonight. Little parlay action, hockey and baseball. So you might like them. Always get better odds for it. So check it out, playalberta.ca. We'll get to lots of the texts coming in. Hey, guys, if the Oilers are going down, I just hope Vegas goes down with them. Well, misery likes company, Morgan. I can see that. Hey, guys, Gudis wasn't in game one. Maybe this is a sweep. Momentum go anyway, but Anaheim has nothing to lose, which is dangerous. From Austin, he's talking about him blowing a wheel. Yeah, maybe. I think, hey, we can always do the if my aunt had nuts, she'd be my uncle. We all know that. It's like ifs or nuts, whatever. It doesn't really matter. So the Oilers, they need a win. That's what has to happen tonight. They need a win. So, hey, Gregs, didn't the Kings come back 3-0 in one of their series? Yes, to the San Jose Sharks. And so it's possible that was 3-0, right? And they came back to win. That was in their second Stanley Cup in 2014 when they were down 3-0. So, hey, comebacks have happened before. The series, it isn't over until somebody wins 4 games. Now, Edmonton obviously is in a pretty big hole. They've got to win 3, Anaheim has to win 1. It's that simple. So, you know what? Win tomorrow, and then suddenly it's win 2, lose 1, right? Winning 2 in a row doesn't seem as daunting. And that's how they have to approach it. The Oilers aren't sitting there, we got to win 3. They're just like, we got to win Tuesday night. Win Tuesday night, who knows what happens? Right? Maybe all of a sudden the Oilers penalty kill goes perfect, and maybe like, oh, we're starting to feel better. Maybe they actually have some awareness in the second period. You never know. Stranger things have happened. So we'll see how it goes. But, the Oilers, there's some trends they'd like to continue scoring first. And there's other trends they have to end. Blowing leads, terrible penalty kill, terrible second period. Right? Kapanen's a trend you'd like to get going. The guy's on fire. He's played great. That line's been awesome. But they need more guys going. Hopefully Doc injects a little excitement, enthusiasm in the lineup. See where they go. And then I do wonder about, what? I'm not touching the Draisaitl line. Play McDavid with Hyman, Savoy, Roslovic, Nugent-Hopkins. Pick the combination. I really don't care. I'm not sure. I still think Hyman's probably best there. I noticed they took Hyman off that line. He's clearly banged up. I think that's pretty obvious. But still good enough to play. So if you're in, you want to contribute, want to make a difference. Right? You hope that the Oilers' power play, by getting that goal very quickly in succession, that'll help. Now, here's another stat for you to keep in mind. That if you look at the Ducks and in this series, they have been very good at scoring right after entering the zone. Right? That's an area where the Oilers are going to have to limit kind of the quick strike ability of the Anaheim Ducks, because they have scored 20 goals and they've scored 15 of them within 5 seconds after gaining the zone. Right? Obviously, some of their power play goals, no, but that's an issue. So now, a face-off, technically the face-off's in the zone. So, they've scored the overtime winner was very quickly after a face-off. You look at the Troy Terry power play goal right off of a face-off very quickly. The Oilers have to be, when the Ducks enter the zone, they've been very good at scoring quickly. So you got to be on your toes. They enter that zone. The Oilers need to be much more aware and on their toes. Hey, Gregor, do you think Savoy should be on the top line? His play has dropped off from MTR. Who are you going to put up there? Like I said, Broslovic, Nugent Hopkins, Hyman, Savoy. Those are your options. I'm not touching the second line. It's the only line scoring. You change it, and here's the stats to back it up. 44 minutes. Kapanen, Podkolzin, and Draisaitl together. They've outscored the opposition 5-0. In only 7 minutes of Podkolzin and Draisaitl away from Kapanen, where he played on a different line, 7 minutes, outscored 3-1. 5-0 in 44 minutes, outscored 3-1 in the other 7. Now, I know one of those goals came on a change. Kapanen had changed, other guys hadn't, so okay. But still, that line, when they're together, they've been dominant. So whatever you do, Coach Knobblock, do not switch that lineup. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Get the other guys. They got to figure, hey, you're big boys. Figure it out. Figure it out. Hey, guys, I bet my house 97 and 29 are together before the end of the first period from Hammer. Ooh. Buddy, if they are, to me, that will reek of desperation. I don't even care if it's 1-0. I'm not doing it. And if they do it, that is, you're making it tougher. You're making it easier for the opposition. Because this year, the Draisaitl McDavid 5-on-5 combo wasn't the lethal combo of previous years. So if you continue to want to go to it, hoping it's going to come back, when you do that, you're separating what is dominant right now, which is Draisaitl, Kapanen, Podkolzin. Do not do it, Coach Knoblauch. Don't do it. Just stick with that line. I'd argue that they're top line right now and get the other guys figured out. I thought in the third period, McDavid, he really attacked. So maybe he's starting to feel better. Because you look, he went wide hard, beat guys, took the puck hard to the net. That's what you need. He's good enough. He doesn't need to play with Draisaitl. You want to do the odd shift, great. But I don't know. I do not want to do it. I just think it would be terrible. So, hey guys, how can the coaching staff not figure out how to beat the 1-2-2 in 4 games of the playoffs from Harry? Well, Harry, the 1-2-2 isn't the problem. It's the 5-4 that's the problem. The Oilers are outscoring the Ducks 5-on-5. They get leads, and then they give up power play goals. That's what's happened. Right? They're not getting dominated 5-on-5. I thought, well, I shouldn't say that. Game 3, I thought Anaheim was all over them, especially in the first period. Oh, that was ugly. Right? And that to me was just, that's what Edmonton needs to do what Anaheim did in period 1. And Edmonton scored first, right? Podkolzin still didn't matter. The Ducks were all over them that entire period. They didn't even flinch or blink when Podkolzin scored. They're just like, whatever, we'll keep going. And they did. They dominated that period. The Oilers need to match that desperation. Get up and stay up. And be prideful of your defensive zone. Look at the turnover on this. Look at the turnovers the Oilers had that led to goals. 2 turnovers directly led to goals costing the game. Look at the goals Edmonton scored. Were they result of direct turnovers? Right? Were they? Honestly, that to me is the difference in the game. Right? The first goal from Kapanen, there's no blatant turnovers. It's just good, point shot, rebound, goal. Right? Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, power play goal. Evan Bouchard, power play goal. Right off the draw, wins it cleanly, back, Bouchard, great shot. But then look at the Ducks goals. Right? You can't have those type of giveaways. Just can't do it. You have chances to clear the puck, get the puck up. Like at that moment, you need to have such a heightened intensity. Like, I got to get it out. Because trust me, they're not scoring from outside the blue line. Get it out. Live to fight another shift. Live to fight another day. Let's get to the con man. Sports 1440 update. Spec will join us next. It's brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. The only thing getting hotter than temperature right now are the deals right now at Northgate. But guess what? There's no gimmicks. You're just going to get a straight. You don't get extra chips. You don't get a coat. You don't get a flight. You just get a good deal, which is what I think most consumers want. NorthgateGM.com.
is a Sports 1440 update.
3 games tonight in the Stanley, or 2 games tonight in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Penguins looking to stay alive, hosting the Flyers. Puck drop in about 5 minutes time. Then at 7:30, Utah hosting the Vegas Golden Knights. Mammoth up 2-1 there in the association. 2 teams facing elimination. The Nuggets try to stay alive as they host the Timberwolves, and the Thunder taking on the Suns. OKC up 3-0. In an hour, we got the Magic and Pistons with Orlando leading 2-1. Major League Baseball, Jays taking on the Red Sox out in Toronto. First pitch, 5:07. We'll join that game in progress on our AM feed only immediately following the Jason Gregor Show. Right now, Pirates up with the Cards, 1-0 in the second. Rays, Guardians scoreless later tonight. White Sox host the Angels. Mariners hit the Minnesota. Rangers up against the Yankees. Cubbies and Dodgers. Cubbies, Padres, Marlins, Dodgers. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet, also the GM of the Edmonton Elks, Ed Hervey, and we'll hear the latest edition of Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lotteries, Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take 1 for Gene Principe. Hey, thanks for being on time.
I'm always punctual. Now, how about some cool beats while I drop the heat?
Ready when you are.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for AC season.
What's not to love with no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year?
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike Legacy, I never know when to cool it.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
No fluff, no fillers, just pure entertainment. Sports 1440 brings the heat with bold opinions, big personalities, and Edmonton's fiercest fans. This is your turf. This is Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
Your protein drink should work as hard as you do. That's why Booster Juice is hitting the gym harder than ever, brother. Meet your new gym buddies, the Way Too Good and Green Gains Booster Mixers. 2 new ripped and refreshing menu options that bench some serious protein. Perfect for pre or post workout. Way Too Good and Green Gains Booster Mixers taste like motivation. So what are you waiting for? Let's go!
Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by 01 Athleticare. Injuries don't wait, and neither should you. 01 Athleticare offers one-stop access to doctors, x-rays, and casting. It's expert musculoskeletal care covered by Alberta Health right in West Edmonton Mall. Move from injury to recovery. Book now at 01.ca. That's ZERONE.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Ooh, here we go, boys and girls. Final hour of the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. It's getting warmer out. Thank goodness, man. It was chilly this weekend. You freaking kidding me? Late in April, but hey, just in time. Well, hopefully it's true. April showers bring May flowers. Let's hope that that happens very quickly. And maybe a Game 7 in Edmonton on Saturday night. The last Game 7 in Edmonton would have been 2022. Kings and the Oilers. When Connor McDavid scored a pretty big second goal of the game. Did Cody Ceci score the first goal that night? I think he did. And they won. Now, the Oilers obviously have to win tomorrow, and they're going to have to win in Anaheim. Not going to be easy. Far from easy. Because there's a lot of areas that right now you're like, can the Oilers win a second period? Debatable. Can they kill a penalty? 50%. Like, that's what they're at, 50%. So taking fewer penalties would help, yes. But if you take two, at this rate, you're giving up a goal automatically. Not good. Now, their power play did score twice, so that's a positive. And I never bought into that theory that O.J. Woodcroft was some mastermind of the power play. That the first game, yes, they struggled on zone entries. After that, it's been fine. But the penalty kill is atrocious. The second periods are atrocious. And when they get the lead, it's ridiculous to say how bad they are. They've scored first in all 4 games. Great. And they've won 1. The rest of the NHL is 19-8 when they score first in the playoffs. The Oilers are 1-3. Has to improve. Must have. Now, hopefully they score for the 5th game in a row. We'll see. First. The Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. We got some hockey, some baseball action for you tonight at PlayAlberta.ca. Use the Gregor Show and you get some odd boosts. Specials. Only 2 games in the NHL playoffs, of course, because we've already got 2 series over as Colorado and Carolina have punched their ticket to the second round. Tonight, the Buffalo Sabres are not playing. But the Philadelphia Flyers, they could punch their ticket with the win. Meanwhile, Golden Knights and Mammoth, this is only game 4 for them. They've only played once in the last 5 days. And either it's a 3-1 Utah lead going home or going to Vegas, or Vegas ties it. That's a best of 3. Let's get to the Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists, and they are hiring top man operators. And if you're just looking for a career change to a company that loves promoting from within, go to gsconstruction.ca and look up careers. As Mark Spector, back from Anaheim, joins us. Spec, how you doing?
Oh, doing all right. Standing here in Vancouver's airport, watching the people go by.
Nice. Well, geez, it's like, what are you, the second period of the Edmonton Oilers? Because they just watched Leeds go by. And the second period's been brutal. Like, the Oilers came out, really liked their start. Tristan Jarry was excellent in the final 10 minutes of that period when Anaheim got their push. And then the Oilers, they got into penalty trouble again. And right now, that's the worst place to be because they can't kill a penalty to save their life.
Yeah, some things are wearing thin here on them, and they can't sustain. They can't maintain, right? As the game goes on, the other teams are getting stronger and they're getting weaker. I think that's fair to say. Not having Henrique is hurting them on the PK. Dickinson's face-offs weren't good last night. He can barely skate. Like, he's not skating very well at all. McDavid, you used to use him killing penalties. Now it seems like crazy to put him out there. He didn't play much. He killed a little last night. But in the end, they've done so many things that should win games. They scored 4 even strength goals, I think, certainly 4 goals in each of the first 3 games. That each time you score 4 goals in a playoff game, you should win, or you certainly could win. And then last night they scored 2 power play goals. That should be enough to win a playoff game. And all of those things aren't enough anymore for the Oilers. It's a problem.
Yeah. I know that there's injuries that are there, and that's realistic. But hey, guess what? The injuries haven't stopped you from being in games and taking leads in games. So like the other thing, Spec, though, like, I'm sorry. This breakout of the stretch pass, enough's enough. It's not working, especially when you get up in a lead. If you want to do it early, fine. But, man, in the second period, it's dreadful. They don't have many options. You see the D-men coming out behind the net, and they're like, I don't know where to go. So then they just flip it back. Now it's a giveaway, and it's leading to less offensive zone time, which means more defensive zone time.
Yeah, no, they're not connected. Like, they're not, we don't see the centerman coming back down deep and taking a short pass, or the wingers being in front of the defenseman so that they can take a pass and do something with it. Everybody, the minute the D-men get a puck behind their net, everybody flees the zone. Yeah. And now it's up to the D-men to make a 65-foot pass to somebody. And that's just not how playoff hockey works. They must have their reasons why they think that's a good idea. It's proving out to be not a very good idea. And when we've seen Edmonton play, when they say they're connected, they're always sort of coming forward as 5 guys. And the passes are short and crisp and fast. Bing, bing, bing. We're over center ice and we still have the puck. Trying to chuck it from behind your net, to some guy on the other far blue line. I don't get it either, Jay. I don't get it. I don't see how someone looks at that and says, that's how we're going to win in the playoffs.
Yeah. When you're in the room, Spec, it's just different than, seeing things. You talk to guys on the record, off the record. What's your sense of the frustration level with their inability to kill penalties and to play well in the second period?
Yeah, I feel like there's not they talk that they have belief, and they have to. They're professional athletes. I just feel like there's a bit of a resignation that, they haven't been able to do these things all year. They haven't killed penalties well all season long, Jay, right?
Yeah.
And now we're going to suddenly find it today in April 27th. It's going to arrive. Like, sometimes you're waiting for that subway, and if it's an hour late, you better check if they didn't shut the thing down. Like, I don't feel like, to be honest, I just, maybe it's me and maybe I'm putting my own emotions on this thing, but I'm looking at a team, and I talked to some guys after the game last night who just, I think they're questioning if it's there. I'm not sure they feel, they thought, here we are last night. We came out, we were strong. We looked like the old Oilers. We scored early. We scored another one. We're up 2-0. And then it just disintegrated for them. And frankly, Anaheim, the final 50 minutes of that game, Anaheim held a lot of it. And that wasn't the plan. And that wasn't the way the Oilers thought they were going to look. And it happened to them again. And I have a feeling they're looking at this thing like, man, I'm not sure it's there this year. That's how I feel. And maybe they don't. I know they tell you different, Jay. I'm not sure if you put true serum in them that they tell you different.
Okay. Colton Dock, are you expecting him? He was out with an illness. Are you expecting him to play?
I think so. Yeah. To me, he's had a way bigger impact than Frederick has had. Like, if you're asking me to make a lineup, if I can only play one of those 2 guys, I'm playing Dock ahead of Frederick every day right now.
And you're playing Lazar again ahead of Frederick too?
I guess my center ice position is pretty weak here, buddy.
Yeah, no, fair.
My first line center's hurt. My second line center's hurt. My third line center's hurt. My fourth line center's out. I think I need Lazar in my lineup, don't I?
Yeah, very possible. Yeah,
right. Like, and that's another thing. Like, there's strength. One of the strengths of the Oilers is they're better down the middle than every team in the league. You give me McDavid, Draisaitl, Dickinson, Henrique, or whoever. There's not a better set of 4 centermen out there than that. And right now, like, McDavid is not even close to being McDavid. Draisaitl missed practice the other day. He's not himself. Dickinson can barely move. And my 4th line center is Curtis Lazar. He's a nice 4th line center, but he's not scaring anybody. So a major strength of this team right now is completely compromised.
What about Zach Hyman? How banged up do you think he is?
I don't know. I just don't know. I'm looking at his play. Is he hitting anybody? Like, I really felt like he fell into something last year with all those hits in the playoffs that made him super effective on McDavid's line. He was knocking pucks loose and leading the league in hits, and I thought we'd see the same guy this year because it worked so well, and we're not seeing the same guy. And there's a reason for that. Maybe it's the wrist. He said that he's still wearing some protection on that wrist, right?
Yeah.
You know, he's carried it all year. Hell, and he scored on it like a 45-goal pace this year. So he obviously had health in that wrist at one point. But I can't tell you if it's a wrist. Guys are getting slashed in the wrist all the time. Has he re-injured it? I don't know. Is it something else? I don't know. But I'm looking at his production and his game the same way I'm looking at McDavid's game and Draisaitl's game. And I'm not seeing the game I saw the last two springs. It's just plain and simple. Are you?
No. Well, 5-on-5, I don't see this. Like the Ducks, they took it to him a little bit in Anaheim, no question, at certain times, right? But my biggest issue really, Spec, is the penalty kill and the adjustments or lack thereof. Like, they got to try something. And, Ekholm, Bouchard, who killed together, they both been on for 4 of the 6 goals. I really wonder if the coaching staff considers Ty Emberson.
Yeah, sure. I mean, nothing against Ty Emberson, but are the Oilers going to, like, you're built a certain way to me.
Yeah, but this is just, I'm just talking penalty kill. Not talking 5-on-5. I'm just talking penalty kill. Because that's what's killing him, Spec. They're outscoring Anaheim 5-on-5. They're getting murdered on the penalty kill. Murdered.
They're getting murdered. I get it. So, do you need to spare Ekholm some minutes there, right? Like, that's who I would try to take some minutes away from is Ekholm. He's looking his age a little bit in this series against these young guys. So, yes. I guess what I'm trying to figure out here, Jay, and I don't know the answer to this. Maybe you do. Is this, like, you never see the cliff coming when you're an old team or an old player. It just arrives, and all of a sudden it's like, holy man, we got old fast. So I'm looking at the Oilers, and I'm trying to decide if the cliff is here or if it's just all the hockey they've played and now this compressed schedule that's beat up every team. Like, every team's had their issues with this schedule this year. Edmonton's have come at the end of the year more than during. But I'm trying to decide if this is just a this year thing or if this is a bigger picture thing. What do you think?
Well, I think it's like, let's look at ice time, right? Evan Bouchard, not old. McDavid's not old. Nurse isn't old. Draisaitl, no. Connor Murphy, I think, played really well in his minutes. Matthias Ekholm, older, sure. Zach Hyman, Nugent Hopkins, a little bit older in their 30s. Okay. Kasperi Kapanen's
not productive.
Yeah.
Not productive, those 3 guys.
Yeah. Kapanen's been their best player. He's been outstanding, really good player. Right? He's playing 17.5. Podkolzin, great. Jake Wallman, no issues with him. Matt Savoy, young guy, good. Jake Dickinson's playing on one leg. Roslovic is kind of playoff Roslovic. This is why he didn't get a big contract last year, right? So
playoff Roslovic. Yeah.
So you got Hyman, who I think is banged up. We all know that. He sat out at the end of the year. So really, the only 2 old guys I could argue is Ekholm and Nugent Hopkins. Okay. Elsewhere, I don't see as an old team at all. So I'm not sure I'm going to buy the old thing.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm happy to hear that. That's not what I'm not looking to bury this team as it's over. But I do feel, I got to say, like, watching what happened to Florida, I know a lot of their poor, like, their results this year were based on, they lost Barkov in the training camp.
Yeah, their whole team, they had a lot of banged up.
And they've had a lot of guys banged up. Now, Edmonton has a lot of guys banged up, and they just, first of all, let me put this on the record. Anaheim is awesome. Like, I love Anaheim. These guys are the new power out west. You better figure out a way to beat them because they're going to be good and getting better and better and better. They're playing great. Like, I'm not taking a thing away from Anaheim, but I'm just looking at an Oilers team that's worn down, man. They're just worn down. I'm just telling you, they're worn down. They're injured. They're beat up. They're worn down. They don't have 60 minutes in them. They got about 25. And this ain't their year, this ain't their year. That's what I got.
Yeah, no, that's so you're thinking they're done in 5?
Well, they could sneak one off. I could, I don't know that for sure. They're not winning 3 in a row. That's just another sort of a sidebar. Jason, they've won 3 in a row twice all season long. Are they going to win 3 in a row now against this team at this time of year with these injuries? Is that even a realistic consideration to think that they're going to win 3 in a row right now with McDavid limping around and all these guys hurt? Like, are they really going to win 3 in a row? So where's our belief level at right now, right? Can you win game 5? Sure, win game 5. Get in the plane, go down, and do it all over again. But I suggest to you, it's pretty hard to sell belief in that dressing room looking around at things.
We'll see tomorrow, Spec. This is, they always say the fourth game's the hardest one to win, and we'll see if the Oilers have a few more pushback games in them. They obviously have to start with one game, and then you move on from there, and you see what happens, and who knows. But, right now, Anaheim has all of the momentum, no question.
They do, and the Oilers have a mountain of character, and they got the right dressing room, and they don't have anybody pointing a finger at anybody. Like, everything's right about this team right now, except for their health, frankly. And, a couple of them, I'm not telling you they're perfect, but they could absolutely gut it out and win you a game 5 here because they got that in their DNA. But I think big picture, let's face it, and I'll let you go. Winning one round isn't the plan around here.
No.
Right?
No, that's fair.
Not the plan, winning one round. So even if you pulled off a miracle and won one round here, do you see a 4-round team in front of you here? I don't see a 4-round team in front of me. So maybe the best thing to do is, have a proper summer for the first time in 3 years and come back next year in what's going to be a big year in McDavidville and take one last run at it, man.
All right, Spec, we will chat with you tomorrow. Fly safe.
All right, sounds good, brother.
There you go. That's Mark Spector. The Beck Report brought to you by GS Construction. We'll return. Ed Hervey will join us, of course, tomorrow, the CFL draft. So there's lots going on, man. We just had the NFL draft. Now we got the CFL draft, NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs. How about the BCHL? They're into the second round. All 4 series are going to 7 games. All 4 starting tonight. And then Sherwood Park is in Brooks tomorrow. So there's 1 game 7 tonight and then 3 tomorrow. The first time ever in BCHL history that all 4 rounds or 4 series in the second round are going to 7 games. Unreal. So great time of year. Take a quick break. We'll return. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Everything is going to be okay. If your debt has you feeling like you're in a free fall, you have options. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. Becoming debt-free is possible, and a personal bankruptcy or consumer proposal will get you there. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. You'll learn how a consumer proposal allows you to eliminate your debt by paying a percentage of the amount owed without interest. At Faber, we'll tackle your debt.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your supplier of maximum comfort, bringing you the cool AC you need. You just have to call Legacy. Call Legacy. For comfort at night when the hot air suffocates you. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. For comfort in your wallet with no payments or interest for 1 year. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. You deserve comfort. Cool off today with AC from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1, saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2, water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3, saving you more money, with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
For over 50 years, the Brick has been proudly serving Canada. They love to save you more on everything you need for your home. Save up to 60% off made-in-Canada sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. Find patio sets starting at just $99 and save up to 40% off mattresses. Plus, take 5 years to pay with 0% interest on furniture and mattresses. Taxes and fees due at purchase, OAC. Visit a Brick near you for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. Use code 1440 for 15% off at notalonecode.com. It's okay to not be okay.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul. Edmonton Trailer.
Hi, it's Jason McCoy. You know, music's given me a lot of great moments, but nothing means more than time with my dad. When he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, a simple PSA blood test was key in detecting it early, and we got more years, more laughs, and more memories. Guys, it's a quick test that just might end up saving your life.
Join the Princess Auto Motorcycle Ride for Dad in Edmonton, Saturday, June 13th. Register or donate at ridefordad.ca.
Ah, yes, the majestic air swing. Don't fret, Colonial Golf Club welcomes all skill levels, even those who struggle to make contact. Colonial's championship course is designed to challenge pros, entertain amateurs, and provide just enough hazards to keep things interesting.
Oops.
Well, at least the Ducks are impressed. Colonial Golf Club, just south of Edmonton, down 50th Street. Book your tee time now at colonial.ca.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Nothing beats getting a deal at McDonald's. Why? Because you get a deal now.
And a deal later.
Redeem an offer from the latest mailer or on the McDonald's app and dig into instant savings. Plus, you earn points towards
Free McDonald's.
Now that's what I call
a double whammy of deals.
Why does that keep happening? Deals sent right to your door. Check your mailbox for the latest McDonald's mailer loaded with delicious value. For a limited time at participating restaurants in Western Canada.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your supplier of maximum comfort, bringing you the cool AC you need. You just have to
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
For comfort at night when the hot air suffocates you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
For comfort in your wallet with no payments or interest for 1 year.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
You deserve comfort. Cool off today with AC from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
.528, welcome back. Jason Gregor. Connor Halley with you. The Gregor Show presented by playalberta.ca, where you can get in the game. Casino, live dealer, lottery, instant sports, all in one place. Playalberta.ca. And, of course, time now to get to our CFL report, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home with no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. Don't wait till you're too hot. Plan ahead, legacyheating.ca. And the NFL draft went this weekend, and now the CFL draft will go tomorrow. Then you have the global draft going on Wednesday, so it'll be a busy few days for our next guest. He is the general manager of the Edmonton Elks. Ed Hervey joins us once again. Ed, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Jason?
I'm doing excellent. And Ed, it's hey, every draft is important, but for you guys with 4 picks in the top 21, I guess you feel like here's an opportunity to really get some homegrown talent. You got the 3rd, 12th, 19th, and 21st pick, as well as the 32nd, 35th, then 50th, 58th, and 59th pick. So a lot of picks for your team. And I guess you look at it strategy-wise, because you have 4 picks pretty early, can you take a bet on a guy who's maybe a higher ceiling but a possible lower floor, or are you just looking for guys with the best floor?
No, I think, when we go into this process, the first question I ask our department is, what problem are we primarily trying to solve with the draft? Right? Are we looking for an impact starter? long-term ratio stability or roster depth, right? And when we talk about impact starters, it's always about a contributor who's going to be able to compete and to start within the first 2 seasons of their contract. So with respect to this draft, we felt like we still need to infuse this roster with impact players, guys who can come in and contribute right away, as well as having some long-term ratio stability and add depth to the roster. But last year we didn't have a third, we didn't have a pick in the first round. So, we were kind of trying to figure that part out as far as what we wanted to do and the challenges that we were faced with. And we obviously chose, Darian Newell with that selection and as our future pick. And, we feel that pick's going to pay dividends for us. And we're treating him coming in this year as part of this group as we're evaluating this draft. But, when we look at that third pick overall, we want that pick to be someone that we believe can come in and impact and play. If it's right away, it'd be great, but we would really like to have some level of impact on either side of the ball this season for us.
Okay. So whether it's offense, defense, or special teams, right? Somebody who can come in and impact it right away, which is key. So when you look at it, how many impact players do you feel there are in the top of the draft?
Well, again, we're looking at it from a standpoint of what level of impact, right? We're saying, there's starter level impact at some point. We feel like there's, situational starter, special teams help. And we feel like there's some core teamer guys that could develop down the line into being able to help you on either side of the ball. But for the most part, what we see for this draft is that we think it is a very strong draft in the first 2 rounds for sure. And then we feel that there's going to be some real value, in the middle rounds. If this is the year where a lot of the COVID year and guys who deferred their years have all coming together. So the talent in this draft, I think, arguably is probably the best that we've seen in a while. And, I know in my time, it's probably one of the stronger drafts with respect to getting all aspects of it, whether you're looking for starters, you're looking for guys that are going to help the ratio, and more importantly, guys who are going to impact the roster on teams, but still with an opportunity to play. So, what level, what percentage? I would say the first 2 to 3 rounds, you're going to get a quality player. And that's not even to mention those players that are going to be that have gotten signed NFL deals. Those guys, as far as futures are concerned, you add those guys into the mix. There are going to be some quality players for teams to select for down the line. So it's a really talented group of players this year, and we're just excited about the opportunity to have 4 picks in those first 21 selections to really hone in on what we need and what this roster needs to help get us over the hump.
Ed, you've never shied away from your belief that O&D line, you build around that, and obviously you need a quarterback, but you get good offensive and defensive line play, then you got a real good chance. And you look at some of the names that top the leaderboard, Vaccaro, a lot of people think he might go number 1. There's Logan Taylor, Conga, Bailey, Albert Reese. The 4th, of course, you played with his dad many moons ago. But do you feel like the O-line, the depth there is pretty? Is that the best position of depth as far as maybe impact players?
I think the offensive line has a good quality of guys, but again, for different needs, different teams are going to have different wants from this group in this draft. And I think when you look at the O-line, clearly there is obviously a guy at the top that everyone feels, very good about, what happens there. But I think there's still some players that are in the draft that are going to have some level of impact, whether it be their first year or down the line. Now, with respect to our roster, we're still in the process of evaluating the value of the draft. Right, we're still in our conversations of taking the 3rd pick, the situation of moving back to gain another pick. If there's an opportunity there to get more picks, like we're still in that that phase of our process. But with respect to the O-line, I think that there's enough offensive linemen over the stretch of the draft that, if you don't get any of the high-end guys, there's still some quality developmental guys that are going to play in this league. And it's just a matter of what style of play you're looking for, what kind of players you want, to play for you. And, do you want, more physical, rugged, tough run game type offensive linemen that, clutch and grab and bring a level of physicality? Or you want more light-footed finesse guys that, help you in the pass game and, are somewhat limited in the run game. I think with our roster, we're trying to develop a level of toughness and obviously protecting the quarterback, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
We're trying to find that balance, is huge for us. But with respect to, where we sit, we sit in a position where, the draft, we actually have an opportunity to allow to not only pick a good player at 3, but to allow the draft to kind of come to us because of that extra pick that we were able to earn, in last season.
Ed Hervey joins us. Ed, I was going to ask you, and you kind of answered there about the O-line. I think it's safe to say you'd like, at least one of those guys you're taking. You want an aggressive offensive line. Nasty, fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, again, we want them to be skilled.
Yeah,
clearly, we want them to be skilled and have all the attributes of a guy who can play and start at this level. But yeah, you want to be more on the aggressive side, right? We're looking to we want to be a more physically tough football team, and that starts up front. So yeah, that's the mindset that we're looking for in our players, and the hope is that the elite guys have that. And for the most part, from our interviews and discussions with these young players, that's what that's what we're finding out is the mental makeup of guys. And we're just, we're excited about that. And we're just kind of looking forward to getting this thing started tomorrow. And hopefully with when everything, the dust settles, we're able to achieve, our goals for this draft by finding the players, not only that can help us on the field, but also have a contributing factor in this community and also be guys that, we see as long-term, not only future starters, but guys who we get to the second and third contracts and we can start building some continuity with our team and players that our fans are more familiar with because they're choosing to stick around and play in Edmonton for the entirety of their career, or at least a great chunk of it.
Ed Hervey joins us. So you like the draft, Ed, overall. You ever get a sense as a GM, you've done this a lot, if there will be trades, can you kind of tell based on, okay, there's been lots of conversations, or if it's quiet leading up to it, does that mean suddenly it's not? Kind of what's your gut feel when you go into a draft?
I think people are always interested, they're looking. People are always looking for, people. If you're not having the discussions on how to improve your draft position, whether it be moving up or obtaining more picks in your individual meetings, I'd argue that, not doing the job correctly. But also in the sense of, you can feel good about your position and, whether it's getting a feel for whether teams are interested or not. Some teams usually wait until the day of to check,
okay,
to see what's going on. Right. And then others will touch base, during the, going into the weekend before the draft to get an idea of what you're thinking. And, but it's been fairly quiet on the front. And I think that's due to the fact that, people feel quite confident in that they're going to land one of the players that they want because of the level of talent that's, in the front end of this draft. I don't know if there's going to be a ton of movement, unless someone had someone that they wanted specific, to their needs. But we haven't heard anything to this point yet if anybody really wanting to move up. So, we're quite, happy where we are, but like in anything, right, I'm always listening to see, and if it's going to make us better and help the Edmonton Elks, never shied away from trying to make our team better.
Ed Hervey Jones. Ed, how would you weigh a guy like Akeem Mesidor, who just got drafted in the first round in the NFL? Is it, would it be a risk taking a guy like that? Do you see him going? I've seen a lot of reports. People think he might go higher than normal. Where do you come out on drafting guys who are just drafted recently by the NFL?
Well, he was drafted fairly high, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, those guys, you definitely placed them on your board, and where you placed them, usually it's on the back half of the draft, and it's a value pick, and fingers crossed and you hope, but first round is your guy goes in the first round of an NFL draft or high up in there. The likelihood of seeing those guys is rare, and for a roster like ours that we need to continue to infuse players that we're going to see immediately or eventually see, we want the likelihood of seeing those guys to be more realistic than it would be to draft someone who was drafted in the first round of the NFL. I think you're more so drafting that guy just because it looks good on your draft sheet. But we're in a different position. We're still in the process of building here, and as talented as Mesidor is, we need to focus on what solves our issues to make our team better in the short term.
Ed Hervey joins us. One last one for you, Ed. You look at the other positions. Obviously, the offensive, defensive line are key. Is there another position where you feel like we've got to just round out our organizational depth, whether it's receiver, secondary, linebacker? Is there one where you feel you need to add more depth to your group?
Yeah, absolutely. But I wouldn't be able to say on the line here. I wouldn't want to give away, what we're thinking. But yeah, there's a couple of other positions that you've named within that those groups that we have an eye on with respect to how we can, build depth in a certain position or support, ratio depth at another position. I think for us, we're always looking for future core players. We're not looking for stopgap guys. We're really trying to find guys who project as starters at all those positions. And as the draft has shown over the years, you can find those diamonds in the rough and those guys with that level of ability in the mid to later rounds as well. So, as far as we're concerned, it's you don't fill a position for the sake of filling it if a guy doesn't have the ability to meet our criteria. We're going into this with an open mind, but with an aggressive approach to ensure that the players that we're selecting are going to give us exactly what we need from them and what we expect from this group, and that is guys that are going to impact our roster at some point within the first and second year. That's kind of the goal and the expectation, and we're excited about that and looking forward to seeing how the draft plays out and our ability to develop them when they get here.
One last one, Ed. You've been doing this for almost 20 years, scouting. Where do you feel, what's been the biggest thing you've learned as a scout over the years that allows you to, give yourself a better chance to make the right pick?
Patience with the process and the evaluation process, asking the right questions, allowing the internal discussion, whether it be full alignment or separate of opinions, just kind of allowing the process to kind of play itself through, and then continuing to ask questions without really showing, my hand as far as, what I'm thinking, and then really allowing a consensus to kind of build our board into something that everyone feels very good about. I think that's one of the things I've learned over the years is, as you're involved, you have your personnel department and your coaches, and finding where the alignment is great. And then the biggest part is also addressing and resolving internal disagreements on a particular evaluation. I think those are the things over the years, because just because you disagree with an evaluation or someone doesn't agree with your evaluation or there's a disagreement within the room does not mean that one side is right or any more right or wrong than the other side. It's just trying to, really filter through the process to ensure that we can, realistically develop that player, regardless of the discussion, into a position that will help our football team win. And if we were to draft that player, do we have the resources and the ability to get the most out of that player? And I think that's what I've learned, is to, say less in the heat of those moments and kind of wait and then, step up and say, okay, let's take it step by step and compartmentalize the discussion and ensure that, we're always making the right decision for our football team.
Ed, always great to talk to you, man. Enjoy the drafts the next few days, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, Jay. I appreciate it.
There you go. That is Ed Hervey, GM of the Elks. CFL draft tomorrow. The global draft goes on Wednesday, and we'll discuss lots of it here on the show. Let's take a final break. We'll come back. We'll get to the 2-minute warning. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
You don't just need property services. You need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact, because our team is built on second chances, and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
A Saskatchewan boy who grew up loving and playing sports.
Enough of
At
this.
least we think he grew up. Listen to Kevin Carius weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
What is this? A Mowing Giant sale sign. It's for Canadian Tire Spring Big Red Sale. I think they meant like big savings, not this.
Save up to 50% at Canadian Tire Spring Big Red Sale, April 23rd to 30th. Exclusions apply. Details online.
Measles outbreaks are occurring in Canada, including Alberta. These outbreaks are highly preventable. Measles is an extremely contagious disease that is spread easily through the air. The best way to protect yourself, your family, and your community is to ensure you are up to date with your immunizations. Don't get measles. Get immunized. Visit alberta.ca/measles to find out if you're up to date and what to do if you're not. A message from the Government of Alberta.
The Ford It's a Big Deal event is on now. Get a big deal on a 2026 F-150 STX with Black Appearance Package. Visit your Alberta Ford store today.
Measles is very dangerous during pregnancy, increasing the risk of many severe health-related complications. If you're planning to become pregnant, make sure you have received 2 doses of the vaccine at least 1 month before conception. Don't get measles, get immunized. Visit alberta.ca/measles to find out if you're up to date and what to do if you're not. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. The playoffs are here, and OTR is ready to be your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian, 69-cent wings, and play score and win every game. See more at ontherocks.yeg.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Well, Oilers fans, if you're looking for the blueprint, the Penguins are leading 1-0 after first period at home, down 3-1. They need a win to keep their playoff hopes alive, and the Oilers will be in the exact same boat tomorrow night. Welcome back. We'll wrap things up. The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. It's time for the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate. Brought to you by Legacy Heating. Home the no pain, just no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. LegacyHeating.ca. And Cam Tate, of course, longtime journalist, born with cerebral palsy. Nothing slows him down. And here's Tater fulfilling his dream of being on the radio in the 2-minute warning.
It's over. Done. The parking lot attendants? Gone home. Maybe they stopped for the one more at the Blind Rabbit. You've heard of that, eh, Gregor? The Blind Rabbit. You know, on Anaheim Boulevard, 440 South. Anaheim Boulevard, right? Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry? Where were we? Arena parking lot attendants of the Honda Center. Now, let's call a spade here. There's a spade here. Okay, sorry. The parking lot attendants didn't all of a sudden drop their, I don't know, flashlights and shovels and maybe, I don't know, their favorite mini Mickey Mouse. Sold at Disneyland, of course. That Minnie Mouse keeps them feeling safe. Fill your boots. Safe at night. Those noble parking lot attendants did not enter the Honda Center in the left or front door, of course. Just the center one. At the Honda Center, right? Or maybe left, on Sunday. Who are we talking about here? Oh yes, parking lot attendants. They did not go into the Honda Center looking for an explanation or a possible reverse of the call. They did not demand the NHL's command center, the one in Toronto, with 9 million television sets, overturn the 4-3 overtime goal and bring the teams back on the ice, especially the guys in the showers. No, they've carried on with their night. A visit to the, you guessed it, Blind Rabbit or not. No sir, they accepted it, damn it. And so should you, and so should I, and you, Gregor, and Hallie, and Kruger. Okay, enough of this nonsense. We are 1 minute and 35 seconds into the April 27th edition of the 2-minute warning, and we've basically said nothing. Nada zilchness. New word for you, Connor, to teach little Benny. Zilchness, about what happened on the goal, on purpose. And that's exactly what the Oilers have to do. Forget it, man. Just play their game. Oilers hockey. Back to basics. If they do that, I can safely bet great-granddad's homestead they will be back on Wednesday, not too far away from the Blind Rabbit. 2-minute warning. Gregor, Hallie, Kruger, being the kind young man he is, told me he's sending a pair of sunglasses and white cane to the Blind Rabbit. This is Tate, Sports 1440.
Being to the Blind Duck. Not, I don't recall him going to the Blind Rabbit. Maybe I'll have to check it out, see what comes of it. But hey, guys, did you happen to catch the Bill Daly interview where he admitted the video replay didn't show enough to overturn the call on the ice? I don't care if they did get it right and process was blatantly wrong. Yeah, well, you know what? We can debate the process, like why'd they call it a goal on the ice? But I think if we just remove emotion, the puck's across the line. To me, it's just that simple. The puck's across the line. So, and, you know, it sucks for Edmonton. But to me, that's... it's call on the ice as a goal. You can disagree with the call on the ice if you want, but there's nothing there to overturn it. I still think the right call was made. I think it's a goal. Connor, what about you?
I don't know how you argue it. I mean, at the end of the day, the puck crossed the line. You can tell, we know the dimensions of a puck. It's not an oval. It's not oddly shaped. It's a circle, and it was clearly in. The way it happened, I get the frustration because, it would have been tough, I think, for all the referees, the linesmen on the ice to definitely say conclusively on the ice that it was across the line. But in your heart, it was the right one. It was the right call. And now the Edmonton Oilers just got to find a way to bounce back. No one else really cares about this. And I think that at the end of the day, Oilers fans know the puck was in. Just the way it happened.
Yes. So not ideal. Not ideal. So. $5:54. Have yourselves a lovely Monday. Get outside and walk. Take some steam off, because guess what? Tomorrow, even though you're frustrated, we know you're going to be watching the game. So we will have, we'll tell you about any lineup changes and more. Oilers will be skating around at 10:30 tomorrow. So we'll have all the updates and get you set for a must-win Game 5 for the Edmonton Oilers. The first must-win of the year. See how they do. On behalf of Connor Hallie, Declan Kruger, I'm Jason Gregor. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. As always, very much appreciate your time. Let's get to the con man now in a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Mortgages to Go. Do you need cash and have equity in your home? Mortgages to Go has you covered. When the bank says no, they say yes. They've been doing it in Alberta for 23 years. Give them a call, 888-888-59 88 or go to mortgagestogo.ca. Good night.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Couple games on the ice tonight in the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. Penguins lead the Flyers 1-0 after 20 minutes, though they trail in the series 3-1. At 7:30, Mammoth and Golden Knights from Salt Lake City. Utah can take a 3-1 series lead with a victory in the association. 3 games tonight. 2 teams looking to wrap up their series. The Timberwolves can do so with a win over the Nuggets at 8:30, and at 7:30, the Thunder up on the Suns. 3 games tonight.